back. You see, now the cover has been blown. All these exciting we return halfway through a joke moments, and actually return, it's everyone just staring blankly at their screens as they react. Like, so yes, after your run-ins with demons and fae, the next morning, the crew of the Cloadmaiden set off, heading west towards the land of Tilafen. And I believe you were heading towards the nearest town, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're heading towards the town of Rivermore. And as you set off towards Rivermore, firstly, who is flying the boat? Okay, so Aldous takes the helm of the boat, and as you head west throughout the day towards Rivermore, is there anything you would like to be doing on the boat?
I would like to examine the it was a sword and a shield. Let me just double check.
It was a sword and armor.
Sword, armor,
sword and
cloak, and assorted fine clothing that you took from the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Alright. So just examining it as in looking at it, examining it?
All this is flying the boat, isn't she? Darn.
Yeah.
I want to swing it around and see if it's magical.
I mean, if you swing this sword around in the confines of your boat,
lightsaber.
you can make me, as you're looking at it, make me.
As a blacksmith,
I'm gonna say, if you've got
Can I-
proficiency, make me an intelligence plus proficiency in. Yeah, for your blacksmithing proficiency as you're examining these finds.
Okay, so I get a +2. It's not an advantage, just a proficiency.
I think it's because you've got proficiency
21.
in this. So looking at the sword, you'd say for starters it is very well made. This is an expensive looking sword, and if you're sort of swinging around weighing the balance, you notice that as well as sort of the ornate hilt, a good grip, it has carvings in it. Tiny, tiny, fine lines of. They're not runes as you'd recognise them. So they're not Isfjellian runes, but they're these sort of fine lines of sigils and marks carved down the edge, down the centre, sort of top part of the blade. And there's a certain something to this blade as you weigh it in the hand that you think magic might have been involved somewhere.
All right. Noted. Possibly magical sword. Is it a short sword or a...
It is a long sword.
A long sword, okay.
Yes.
If only we knew someone who used long swords.
Long is a sword, and it's probably a little bit better than normal. To a numerical value.
If you had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10.
Or 1 to 4.
I can say.
Hey, I'm trying to push the limits here. 1 to 10.
Magical things go like. I mean, it's definitely not a 10. It's. But yeah, is it just the sword you're taking a look at, or do you want to look at the whole lot whilst you got it?
The whole lot. Probably not as much the clothes, but
yeah, the armor is it's very nice, but it's not as nice as the sword. It's decently made armor, slightly different style to that you're used to, and it's I'd say slightly different. There's definitely still the hallmarks. You probably recognize it as being recognizably dwarven craftsmanship, but it's sort of just slightly different style. But there's, you as a blacksmith, you're familiar with different styles of making. You'd say it was dwarven made, and you notice that it, like the cloak, has got this symbol of a sword blade with these 14 rays of light coming off it.
Cool. And then the cloak?
And the cloak is this very nicely made blue cloak that, when you wear it, there's something comforting about it. Something, I don't know, it's a very, very nice cloak.
I'll put it on.
Yes, you put it on, and as you fly further, after about an hour of wearing it, you'd say that, yeah, this is a very comforting, protective cloak.
Almost like a cloak of protection.
Almost like a cloak of protection.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
1. But yeah. You reckon it's possibly some form of magical protective cloak.
I just feel a little safer. You know,
yeah, you feel safer wearing
my
it.
little,
but
my little blue blankie.
It's your thunder jacket, like for dogs.
But it doesn't flutter quite as magnificently in the wind as Iris.
Right. So seeing the symbol, does Torvald recognize the symbol at all? The sword and rays?
Make me a religion check.
As a cleric, I'm obviously really good at these. So that'll be a 9, because I have a -1.
It's not a symbol of a god you're familiar with as Isfjell. You nag in your mind as you think it's possibly related to some stories you've heard of religions and things further west, outside of Isfjell's borders, but you can't really put a pin on exactly what it's meant to represent. But you think it's definitely religious in nature.
All right. So Torvald will walk over to Ira. Is Ira doing anything in particular, or? No, just chilling.
Yeah, she's just chilling, to be honest. She'll probably be sitting near Adair.
Well, I'm glad you're both here. I could use your help with something.
What is it?
Well, first of all, I found this sword, and it's finely made, and I know
Excuse me, who found that sword?
We found the sword.
Is the boat talking?
The boat's talking.
I thought you could get more use out of it than I could, so... And, you see this symbol here? Do you happen to recognize it?
Let me confer
Make a religion check.
with Lady Luck.
Let me
Religion
confirm.
check?
Religion, yes.
It's like the best thing to say when you're about to roll a die. Let me confer with Lady Luck.
What did you get?
I got a 19.
You've seen this before.
Oh, I have.
Possibly in a traveller coming through Chorus or someone that you've travelled on a boat with. But this is the symbol of the Order of the Radiant Blade, which is a holy order of the Kingdom of Telefen, dedicated to defending the people and protecting them from the dangers of goblins and ghosts and horrible cults. But yeah, the Order of the Radiant Blade.
Yes, yes, this is very familiar. I don't know how I know it, but this belonged to someone who protected Telefen. Tilfen. I think that's actually right. I think I've been telling you all the wrong thing this entire time.
Well,
That's okay. You have an Air Genasi accent where you variation.
Oh, yes.
Well, I'm sure there's some story behind how it got all the way over there, but maybe they were trying to defeat the cult.
Yes, potentially. It's beautiful. Very well made. Not quite a 10, though.
Well, of course not. I hadn't made it. But I'm glad you like it, and hopefully it serves you well.
Well, while we're at it, I have quite a few items that I've assembled, and I think I've been hoarding them. And Ira will take my bag of withholding, and Mr. Bag, please open. I want to share my gifts with everyone. Let's see. How's a 9? How do you fancy a 9, Mr. Bag? I think you're muted, Tiz.
Yes.
Oh, zip. Well, it is
that
hard
was
to share.
anticlimactic.
Yes, it is hard to share when your bag doesn't want you to. But just so you all know, I have quite a bit in my possession. So I would like to share it all with you. Because I still have a sending stone. I have goggles. I have a cloak. I have this weird coin. Still doesn't know what to do. I think I still have a mirror on me from whenever we visited that one house that one time. There's a shovel in here somewhere. So if you guys want any of these things, I still have a brooch of featherfall. Does anyone want that?
Well, seeing as we're on a flying ship, might be a good thing to keep on your person and not in your bag of whatever.
Yes, well, I have a bunch of things just sitting in the bag. Does anyone know what this coin does? And I'll try again to make the bag open, please.
If we can wait until we land, I can see about figuring things out.
If I could, I'll put my hand on Ira's shoulder and say, "Thunder, help her!" And the electrical energy will just kind of surge through her body as I cast guidance.
Ooh. Great. Well, how much does that add up? A D4?
A D4, yeah, it's not much.
Great. How's a 10?
Are you muted on purpose, Tis?
Oh no.
Nope. Can't hear you.
Ooh.
So with that, we all get plus 10 daggers of healing and
The bag
Daggers of
opens.
healing. You go around
Excellent.
stabbing each other.
and it heals them.
heals
That's
you.
right. So
Yeah.
only stab your friends.
Perfect.
All right. Well, don't worry, because in situations in which the DM is muted, Ira can talk for a long time. So in my bag, I have I have some goggles of night. I have a sending stone, an alms box, an amulet, a bag of ball bearings, a blanket, a block of incense, a brooch of featherfall, caltrips, candles, censers, my cloak of billowing. I actually have that on my person. I have an extra pair of clothes, a crowbar, a dagger, an emblem of my holy symbol I like to keep on around for lady luck. I also have a grappling hook. That's very fun. I didn't know I had that in there. A hammer, a hunting trap. I have my other long sword, but I keep that on my person. I've got a mirror. I don't remember picking that up. I've got a mysterious coin. That's all I know about it. A pigeon. Don't know what that is. I've got some plate armor. Wearing that on my person. I have playing cards. Do you guys want to play a game? I have a potion. I have a potion of healing. Didn't know I had that. There's a quarterstaff in here. A day of rations. Some rope. I've got my shield. Keep it out. A shovel. A tinderbox. A torch. Some investments. And a water skin. Does anyone want any of those?
Are you just tipping them out onto the deck?
As Adair,
Yes.
as Adair continues to look,
I did it all.
as Adair continues to look outward, watching the skies for things that are trying to eat us, he's going to go, Ira, I hope you're going to tell me that there's a crystal wand in there.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, there is still a small crystal one about this long, sort of
Yes.
faintly glowing and radiating this soft white light. Adair, make me a perception check. As Iris strewing this stuff across the deck.
That is an 18.
Yeah, say if you got it written out somewhere, it might help the other people just send it to them.
I mean, if you don't want the feather fall thing, that could be useful.
18. I don't know if you heard me. Sorry.
18. Okay, I'll get back to that in a sec.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's up to you guys if you want to go through the entire bag contents on stream or not. But,
I think we're good.
yeah,
That was
so,
hilarious, though.
So Krasara has the brooch of Featherfall.
Yes, absolutely.
When we get to town, I may look and see if I have something that I can trade you for it. But this could come in handy. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Adair, as you are keeping a look at the skies are pretty clear. You do off to the south see something. Quite a long way to the south. At first you think it's just a cloud, and then you catch a glimpse of off to the south what looks to be a large rock flying. But it's a long way south.
Is it moving in a direction that I can tell? Especially is it moving towards us?
No. It's usually moving away.
Okay.
But as Ira's busy tipping all this stuff out on the deck, you hear a noise. I think, hang on, I remember who's got which one. You hear diddle-dum-dum, diddle-dum-dum, diddle-dum-dum-dum, diddle-dum-dum, diddle-dum-dum-dum-dum, and
big?
from Torvald's.
Hello?
This is Knight Quaith here from the Gith. We
Night
have
what?
reached the edge of the forest. Are continuing west. Have you found the next wand fragment? Over.
Should we tell about the one that the Fae has?
I wouldn't count that one because it's not in our possession.
We're headed towards the next one now, further west. Past the edge of the large forest. Place called Telefen. The end.
And the
There's a
next 10
pause.
words are you trying to pronounce Telefen properly?
There's a pause, and then I can't remember who was holding the other one of the.
Had one.
Yeah, you hear the familiar sound from the other rock.
Ira had one as well.
Diddle-dum-dum. Yeah, Iris is just out the bag now. Diddle-dum-dum,
Yes, it's
diddle-dum,
just on the floor.
diddle-dum-dum-dum, from Krasara's rock.
I pull it out.
This is Quaith on Grallian's rock. You told me that last time. I know you're going to Telefen. We'll see you there. Over.
Then why is she calling us if she knows where we're going?
I have no idea.
What am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do with this?
You're supposed to respond.
The light fades from the rock sigil.
I think it's
They're gonna be like, why do we partner with these people?
I think
So-
it's broken.
So as you're flying along, as you're sorting through the belongings, and I said, feel free to reassign and sort out who has what. You see below, the forest has now given way to first to sort of scrubland, and then to pasture, and then you start to see fields, a few clumps of trees, a scattering of farms beneath you, and you are out of the Kethri forest, and you're flying above looks to be would be rolling green countryside, except that it looks to have been snowing recently. Everything is covered in a fine white blanket of snow. And as you fly on, you see ahead of you a winding river. And built on the shores of this river is a town. You can see a cluster of buildings, mostly made of stone, on either side of the river. And on the far side of the river, you can make out a hill with a larger house built on top. So as you're approaching this, sort of more from the sort of southern side, I'd like, well, whoever's at the front, whoever's keeping a good lookout, to make me a perception check, actually, as you're getting closer.
I assume that would be me, since I was the one watching before, unless anybody else wants to jump in.
No,
I mean, I'd probably be looking to. I don't know. You can do it though.
It's a dirty 20.
There you go.
Okay, so you see everything. No. As you're flying, you see the first thing that catches your eye is some of the buildings have been sort of burnt out looking. There's definitely some look to be ruined or burnt, probably quite recently. Still smouldering slightly. There's what looks like it were two bridges that were crossing the river that are now broken off. So the center part of the bridge is gone, with one small footbridge still crossing the river. And on the south side, the south you're approaching from, you can see rows of tents pitched in the snow. And fluttering by these tents, you can see a familiar-looking banner, woven with the symbol of a golden dragon. The same banner that you saw hanging on Fiven's house back in Bonebrook. Only this is a much nicer looking banner than his. Like, it's not moldy and mildew. This is a...
That was more of a love shack. This is more of a proper building.
It's flying from the tops from a couple of the buildings, but also from a large tent that's surrounded by other tents, and you're still a fair ways off, and drawing closer. But you've got quite good sight. But you can see, it seems to be some kind of encampment on the south side.
Cobalt, look at those buildings. They appear to be burned.
Well, that's never a good sign.
Look, the bridges are broken.
Should I be landing? Should I be putting us down?
We can handle anything that comes at us.
No, yes, up, down, keep going. What are we doing?
What was that, Aldous?
What are we doing? Are we landing or not?
At this point, it is getting towards the end of the day, because you've been flying for most of the day to get here. So we're getting into evening as you see Rivermore approaching.
I'm going to land in the river south of the town.
Okay, so the river's flowing through the middle of the town.
Right. I'm south of the town on the river so that we can push the boat up.
Okay, so you're landing...
As opposed to flying over the town.
Okay. So... Are you aiming for to be a mile outside of the town, 2 miles outside of the town? How close are you getting here?
A mile.
Okay.
Landing 4 miles, but still sitting in the boat so I can push us up the river.
Down the river, I think.
You said south, so
it's a bendy river.
Well,
I'm looking at my map I've got
go
here.
North to south either. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could technically be down the river.
Yeah. The river here is pretty much flowing east to west.
Oh, okay. Then to the west of the town, I guess.
So you're approaching from the east. The river is flowing east to west.
Okay,
so you can fly over the town and land to the west, or you can fly.
I don't want to fly over the town.
Okay. I didn't think you did. That's why
Check out our flying boat, everyone.
I don't want a repeat of what happened to the gift.
So you land upriver, and start. Are you aiming to then float the boat downriver into the town?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hopefully, before they saw that we were flying.
It's a good question.
Roll a boat stealth check.
Oh, should I?
No, just kidding.
I was more rolling a perception check on behalf of someone else involved. So yeah.
All right.
So
Okay.
you're taking the boat downriver? Is that the plan here?
Yes, that is the plan. Unless other people are opposed to it.
Nope.
Right.
Sounds good to me.
So it's some difficult steering because this river is quite shallow and quite rocky. You wouldn't say it's an entirely navigable river for a boat of this size. There's possibly a few points where you actually have to kind of lift the boat up a little bit of flying just to pop it back down again.
No one will know.
Just kind of lift it over a few rocky bits of rapids. But soon you can see the buildings coming into view ahead of you, the outskirts of the town. And as you get closer, there is a shout, and you hear someone call out, "Who goes there?"
We do.
And you hear the creak of like bowstrings out in the darkness. And you can see pretty well. So maybe a perception check. 'Cause I think you've got the furthest dark vision here.
How's a 7?
You can't see. You can't work out where this person's shouting from. They're somewhere off in the dark.
As I'm in the chair still.
Yeah, from your vantage point, you can't really see. But you hear, "Who's we? Stop!" And
we're in a boat on the river.
And anyone here who speaks Elvish, which I think is Ira, if I'm not mistaken, you hear someone say, "How did you get a boat up there?" It's fucking massive.
Ira is just going to shout back in Elvish, "Perseverance!"
Come to shore. We won't hurt you.
And
this river is under our control.
Which shore?
South shore.
Okay. I will steer the boat to the south shore.
Okay, so you steer the boat to south, and by now, as I said, it's darkness has fallen. As you steer the boat south, so out of the bushes and around on the edge of the river, you watch as a small group of figures stand up. You can see 6 of them. Although by the rustling, there might be more of them sort of still hiding in the undergrowth. And one at the front steps forwards, and you see that they are an elf, and with sort of very sort of pale-looking skin, sort of naturally white and sort of greyish-white hair, and they are wearing a much more sort of military-style uniform version of the same stuff that you saw Five in wearing. This sort of official imperial uniform, but with armor involved this time, and no dressing gowns. And the elf, she looks over at you. You're sort of looking at your boat, and sort of her eyes flick between you. She goes, "You're not from round here."
No.
Nope.
What are you doing here?
We are... I'm going to look at Adair and Ira. We are traveling. We were most recently at Crisara. What was name of the swamp we were at?
Bonebrook.
Oh, yes, that one. Bonebrook. We were there.
Bonebrook. Oh.
And then... Yes.
We
So we're
found
here
some
now.
cultists that want to kill you, and we figured we'd warn you about it.
Come with me. I'll take you to our captain. I think
All right.
this is you. The Thane, Rin, keep an eye on that boat, and shoot any squirrels that get near it.
I opt to
What?
stay on the boat.
You have squirrels large enough to take our boat?
Slang.
That's a problem.
You don't. We will take good care of your boat. Look. I don't know how you sailed in here, but we can't take it anywhere.
Skill.
Yes, mission accomplished.
Skill.
You see it looking sort of down like that. It won't get under the bridges downriver. I don't even know how you got it up the rapids upriver. Look, I promise, your boat is not going anywhere.
Well,
And if it's one of those fancy folding boats that they make over in Chorus, look, we don't know your folding boat word, so we can't fold your boat up.
I'm going to turn to Sindri. Sindri, can you please keep an eye on the boat, please?
Sure.
Just let me know if they try to do anything.
I will.
Thank
I love
you.
how
Cat.
paranoid we are that Tiss is going to take our boat away, that we were just trying to leave someone back. We're like, we'd rather do the thing you're never supposed to do in D&D, split the party.
Split the party.
As long as we just don't leave our boat unoccupied.
I scratched Sindri's ears. Thank you.
Well, come along this way. We have to loop round southwards a bit. There's archers on the north shore, and
Torvald
he
will
goes
follow.
to a couple of the group to stand guard and starts leading you off, sort of between the buildings. You pass by a couple of ruined, burnt-out buildings, and heading down towards the tents and the encampment. And we'll get back to you in a moment. Because Lucian.
Me?
Yes! You have been dragged through into the captain's tent. The captain himself is not there at the moment, but you've been heavily sort of pushed down into a chair on one side of the desk. And the sort of two guards stand by the door, and the mage, whose name I just had in front of me.
Eric. Dave.
No, I had a name.
Deverick.
I was being really organized here, and then
Eric. Derek.
No.
Oh.
Hang on. Oh, I was gonna say it's not anything like Eric. It's Arian.
Sounds racist.
It's now Erica. Erica. I'm calling her Erica now. She's getting renamed.
Okay. But we all know. She has blonde hair and blue eyes, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
She has blue eyes and white hair. Very different. And a very cold, frosty demeanor.
Sounds a bit
She is-
more perfected than
They
the
saved.
blonde.
She leans down towards you, Lisa goes, look, we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Tell me. Look, I don't want to have to send you back to the Empire if I don't have to. You have given us some good information. You've been very helpful. But if you are working for the the Fenish, I don't know what they call their people here. That's the Fenish.
I've heard the Tilfs.
Tilfs. If you're working for them, then it's not too late to change sides. We offer good rewards. We
Just
I promise. Hold on. Sorry. You hear a cough from outside the tent. One sec. Stay there. If he moves even a finger, shoot him. And don't let him say a word. I'm not talking your way out of this one. What is it? We found some people in a boat on the river. Like a rowing boat? No, like a legitimate sailing boat. I don't know how they got there. Look, it's the the captain went into town. You go find the captain, send them in. And at this point, the five of you have been led up to this rather large-looking, ornate tent. And Ira, you understand that conversation because it's in Elvish. The rest of you do not. And the guard who has been leading to this point sort of draws aside the curtain of the tent, and you see inside sort of a cluster of chairs, this large table with a map spread out on it, with various pins in it. You see an elven woman dressed with sort of white hair that it seems almost like frosty at the tips. Not in the style of hair dye. I realised I regret that as soon as I said it, but you can definitely see this icicles hanging on the tips of her hair. And behind her, sort of seated in a chair by the table, is a man. Well, I think I'll proffer the description of what that man looks like over to our guest.
Yes, you'll see a man that, upon close inspection, might be a half elf, though those ears might suggest he's closer to an elf than human, but it's hard to tell. He has shaved head on the side with longer hair kind of just flowing around the back, and he's dressed in what looks like would be typical Eldenraw armor, but it looks like part of it was starting to be stripped away from the guards, and the people took him in there before they were interrupted. I don't think he's wearing his normal stuff. If he is, the one thing he might be wearing is a headband that looks a little more ornate. Otherwise, his other materials, I think, were probably stripped of it.
They've probably not got around to taking your headband, so yes, you have your headband.
Good.
They hadn't got to that point yet.
Cool.
Yeah, so Lucy, from your point of view, you see Erica sort of looking up as the entrance to the tent door, the flap. What? The tent flap is open, and you see 5 rather strange assortment of people being ushered inside the tent. I think the one that would probably strike you the most is the fact that one of them is definitely blue. But you also see, 3 humans. Don't ask me which one of you I forgot was a human. 3 humans and a dwarf, along with this blue-skinned woman, dressed in an assortment of clothes that don't look like they're from Tilafen or Eldenraw for the most part. Except for, you do recognise that the dwarf, I believe, he used to be wearing a cloak of the Radiant Blade.
Lucian would probably give a quick glance to that and look back to Erica and say, "Oh, great! Now we have enough for a game of hide and go fuck yourself."
I told you to keep your mouth shut. Just stay. Yes.
Do we see that? Is he tied up? Do we see?
He's not tied up now.
Okay.
But the guard's keeping a very direct eye on him. You sit there. Don't say a word. Who are you? What are you doing in Tilafen? And how did you get your boat there?
Skill?
We're very seasoned sailors.
It flies.
It flies, right. Sure.
Have you heard of something called magic?
And she looks at you, and you see she looks, and you see down at her side, sort of, on her belt, there seems to be a rather ornate wand attached to her belt. She goes, "As a matter of fact, I have, yes."
Well, there are different spells that make things bigger and larger and smaller and things like that. So,
well, they're fetching the captain, but until now, I have a very important question for all of you. What is your intention here? Are you seeking to interfere?
Interfere with what? We needed to rest for the night.
I guess the giant squirrels, the boat-stealing squirrels, we're supposed to be concerned about.
Well,
And one of the guards looks over, and you see one of the guards spit on the ground when you mention squirrels.
Well, I mean, we were waylaid a little bit ago by, I guess, cultists?
aye, over in Bonebrook, there were some cultists that...
No, not Bonebrook. That's where Fiven's from.
Oh,
it's a little tiny, not even a village.
And
they drugged some of us.
I've had conversations with rocks that are more interesting than this.
Okay, first of all, your attitude, sir.
When he looks at Krasara...
He doesn't look like a knight. You don't need to call him sir.
Lucian looks at Krasara and he kind of lights up a little bit, but he doesn't say anymore.
And the tent, as this conversation interrupts, the tent flap opens again, and another elf strides in. This one, dressed also in the uniform you've seen the guards in, but much more ornate. There's gold-trimmed epaulets involved, gold trim on the cloak. There's definite gold involved, and as he strides in, he looks around and goes, "Thank you, Erica. I'll take over from here." Did you finish questioning the spy?
This is all one big mistake. I mean, all of us make mistakes every now and then. I'm sure your parents don't feel too bad.
Okay, do you know the silence spell? Because if you... And she shakes her head. Shame.
Aye, that one's no fun.
I am not a spy.
Isn't that what a spy would say?
Who are you people?
That is exactly the question I was going to ask. Loath am I to agree with you, Lucian.
Wait.
That's Lucian.
Oh, I still thought it was Lucian.
My name's Ichabod. I was a guard here. I don't know why you think I'm a spy.
Strange. I've definitely heard someone earlier refer to you as
Torvald on
Lucian.
the shoulder.
Ichabod, Lucian.
Do you have
Sarah's
a
going to
truth
lean over to
spell?
Chrysara and say, "His name's Lucian?
That's strange.
Are we sure it's a man?"
Not really, no.
He is quite
The head.
handsome.
It's the
do you have a
headband.
truth spell?
It
Not
looks
today, I
feminine.
don't. Haven't prepared it.
I have a truth spell, and I'll hold up my maul.
You see all the guards around sort of reaching for their swords.
Torvald, like,
Miss. I
Torvald
promise.
reaches
I
out.
will let you rough me up another time. Now is not it.
Aye,
got a
she is
green-
into elves, that's for sure.
You got a green nightgown, and we could talk.
I'm sure I could find one.
Oh, that's awkward. Can I go outside, please?
No. I've not yet determined whether you're a threat to the Empire and what you are doing here.
I didn't threaten none of us threatened the Empire.
This
I
is
told you we're
Imperial
here to-
territory now.
We're here to warn you about the cultists. They mentioned attacking here, and we didn't want you to be ambushed by cultists trying to sow chaos and destroy the world and such.
On second thought, we probably should have just let them.
So you're not in league with the Telefen? The Fenish. I'm going to go with Fenish. You're not in league with the Fenish?
No.
Who are the Finnish?
Are they squirrels?
Yes. Although...
the squirrel banner got me. Just killed me when I saw that. I started dying.
Look,
It was actually originally intended to be a panther. It just went very wrong.
Well, if you don't want us here to help you with the cultists, then we'll just be going.
No, we will very much like you to help with the cultists.
Well, what's it worth to you?
Oh, you're mercenaries.
Of a sort.
Sort of.
More adventurers than anything.
Well, if you're willing to help us with this, help us here, I'm sure we can talk about monetary compensation. But probably best not in front of certain ears.
Which
The pointy one's over there.
Erica, take Ichabod, Lucian, whatever his name is.
Actually,
Put him in the
you could
holding cells. We'll deal with him later.
You could just leave him. He's kind of funny to watch. So, entertainment.
Unless you'd like to question him for us.
Please don't leave me with Erica. If I had her face, I'd take up drinking as well.
Damn it, Adair!
I would love to ask Lucian questions.
What did I do?
You threw the mug overboard!
And yeah, that is. Why do you remind me of? I'll deal with you later.
Do I get to ask questions now? Lucian, what's your favorite type of tea?
Oh, so hard to say. I oolong is good. Green tea.
Is this the information you all wanted? Did I do a good job?
No. I thought
May
you
I
had a
ask
useful spell to offer or something. Yes, you in the back there.
Lucian, do you know who your parents are?
Let's make him sad like us. Let's make him sad like us.
Now, Adair, I don't think we need to project on the poor young lad.
And then you see a little bit of a shift, and he stares at the captain. The captain's in there, correct?
Yes, yeah. It's currently you, the captain, the mage Erica, and sort of 3 guards sort of just standing around the edge, looking confused.
The guard captain goes,
Yeah.
I am your father.
I know who my parents are.
Yeah,
That's
do you
very
now?
lucky. That's very lucky of you, Lucian. Very
Did
fortunate.
they tie you to a bed? Every night. for a few years.
They did not.
Huh? You sure you've never been tied to a bed before?
Well, you said my parents. I didn't say anyone else.
I just elaborated on a question, it's all.
I don't notice. I don't know what's going on. I'm watching the same thing. It seems like everyone is just projecting their feelings onto him.
Essentially, for those just joining,
were you
those
abandoned by your
what
parents as a
happened
young
is
child? And it's like their whole
They saw there's
backstory.
something going on in town. They sailed their boat down towards it. They were asked by a bunch of guards to come to the captain. The captain, who was in the midst of about to question a suspected spy, and this is how it.
This is literally the worst good cop, bad cop scenario ever.
That is
I
not
have
true. That is not
unresolved
true.
Good cop,
issues
bad
that I
cop,
am
confused
trying
Garden
cop,
of Eden.
projection cop.
Kasara's
Jackie cop
discovered
and
she
angry
has a
cop.
fetish for elves now, apparently, so. And now we're in a whole village of them.
Well, actually, the guard, like the head of the guards that originally found you was an elf. The mage is an elf, and the captain elf. The other guards standing around, they're human.
Boring.
And of course, there's whatever his name is, with who is half elf.
So is your name actually Ichabod?
No,
Or is it
no. My name is Lucian.
Lucian? That's
Close enough.
and it-
You can call me whatever you want.
okay.
Just don't call him Fiven.
Do you know anyone named Fiven?
How much more of this do I have to take before you believe me? Can I go? It's really irritating.
Tell me about it, and I think Lucian as well. You as the mage leans over to the captain and goes, "What is your plan here?" This is in Elvish. What is going on? I don't know. The mercenary is flirting with. I don't know if he is a spy or isn't a. Why did you think he was a spy in the first place?
Good question.
This is where we never get a better posting.
Then
Lucian
Lucian
speak Elvish.
would say, was it the fact that I was learning about your plans to eradicate the Teal'c with more reinforcements and just wiping out a whole civilization that is much weaker than you, full of nicer people and not you assholes? Is that might that be it?
Is that what's going on here?
It is.
All right, guards, take him away.
No.
We'll execute him in the morning. Thank you. I think we have resolved the situation. He is, in fact, a Teal'c spy. Thank you for your help here. Now, if we want to discuss payment in our for assistance in our military endeavors, what are your going rates?
7,000 gold.
Pardon?
7,000 gold.
Aye. We're
And
very
your
strong.
firstborn child.
And a release from a post that someone finds incredibly boring. So
I think 7,000 is a bit steep. Look, we can discuss rates. And the captain snaps his fingers, and you see the guards step forward towards Lucian. One places a hand on one shoulder, one on the other, and they go to start sort of steering him out.
Ow, ow.
And
I stand in front of the
Man.
door.
How many
What
people?
dinner before this happens?
How many people are in the area with us
so,
that we saw?
currently crammed into this tent. There's more outside. Appeared to be a military encampment outside that you walked through. Inside the tent, there is the captain, there is the mage, and there are 3 other guards.
And then outside, how
Outside,
many?
you saw at least 20 or so tents that you walked through. You don't know how many people are in each tent. And as so, Krasara's blocking the exit.
Mm-hmm.
The mage looks at you, and you see her reach down to the one at her back, and she goes, "Move. I advise you not to interfere in Imperial business. This is your last warning."
I hope that's an ice spell.
Well, we just like to hear both sides of the story. That's all.
Sorry, what did you say, Krasara?
So I just hope it's an ice spell.
She's resistant to cold.
Mm-hmm.
So, hang on, I just need to quickly do one last thing here.
Because be changing it last minute.
Basically, are you stepping out the way, Krasara, is the question here?
No.
Or are you standing your ground?
I'm standing my ground.
Okay. In which case...
What are you saying about no battle maps?
It's a very makeshift one. I would like you to please roll me initiative. Because I think shit is about to go down.
You really need to...
Everyone roll initiative or just Krasara?
Well, everyone, you have your option
Traitor.
whether you want to get involved or not. This is a very cramped battle map. I need to find my guard tokens.
I got a 14.
No, hang on. Where's my guards?
Wait, no, 5, 6. And then I have my... It's actually a 7.
Yeah, so there should be a battle map. You are in the terrible round circus tent because I couldn't find a better tent.
Definitely in a tent.
It's probably very.
This battle's gonna be intense.
It's yeah.
I can't see the tent.
I
It
will
looks
show
like
you.
a basic circus tent.
I'll send you.
No,
It's down the
just-
bottom of the map.
It's off screen on.
Yeah,
on
yeah. It's down the bottom of the map. I can't control that. So you're all crammed close into this tent. That was the mage.
This is a very tiny...
This is a tiny tent.
Wait, we're all
On this
just
episode of
inside
Tiny
the
Tents.
tent.
Pardon? What did you say?
I said, aren't we all just inside of the tent? We haven't really stepped very far in.
Yeah, you're all kind of
Great.
near the doorway area of this tent. And I'll move that guard so there's some more space for you.
What have you done, Krasara?
Well, he wasn't. We can't let him take him yet. I mean,
Yes, the guards had stepped
Information.
forward to
You
grab
and your elves.
hold of Lucian, so I'll put the guards kind of there.
it's called
There's
character
really not enough room in this
development.
tent for all the NPCs. I really should have made a bigger tent.
You sure you're not a bard?
No, I'm not sure at all. She's gonna take a level in bard and start badly singing to seduce
Alright.
all of the elves.
So, on that note, any initiatives above 25? I don't think that's even
25?
What?
Do I get to roll
Any-
2 d20s?
any initiatives above 20.
No.
None above 20?
What's it?
Any above 15?
17.
Okay.
Which one is Lucian?
This one.
Okay.
So
try not to hit you with stuff.
Thank you.
who do we have above 10? 14 for Torvald.
13 for
13
Albus.
for Aldous. 11 for Adair. Ira is down on a 5. And 7 is Krasara. Okay, so Krasara has stepped in. The mage is reaching down to the ones at her belt. The guards are looking worried. And Lucian, you are first in the initiative order.
Do I see my stuff in the tent?
Your stuff is in the tent. Your stuff is probably just sat on the desk on the table.
Okay, if I'm
taken
able,
off you.
if I'm able to snag it quickly, I will.
Depending on like how much you're trying to snag, if you're trying to bundle it into your arms, yeah, you
Well,
can do that fine. If you're trying to
it'd be mostly the glass staff and the pan flute.
Yeah, so you see him reach across the table, and there is this glass staff on the table. Yeah, you can grab those.
And I play a little tune like whoop, and cast Spirit Guardians. Always with this.
Spirit Guardians.
That is a 15-foot radius, am I correct?
Correct.
The benefits of playing with a cleric.
And then
What do your Spirit Guardians look like? Is the key question.
I would say like music notes, fluttering around, different kinds of music notes, just fluttering around, ready to kick some ass.
Okay, so the air is full of fluttering music notes.
And then as a bonus action,
are you excluding anyone from this?
the weirdos, the people that that don't look like people that don't look like guards.
The weird, that is an accurate term. Like, they just added confusion to this situation.
The weird people who were strangely defending me after insulting me and
Right.
projecting their deepest
Well,
darkest
I
feelings
appreciate the back and forth.
And they're with the barbarian girl. What's that?
Then I'd use a bonus action, give a wink to Chrysara, and use Bardic Inspiration, and I would sing a lovely tune that goes, "Hey now, you're Chrysara, get your rage on, kill them." And you have 1d8 Bardic Inspiration.
And smash their skulls into bits.
Only with your hammer will you do this.
Oh, well, 5
And
got
the crits
competition.
start coming and they won't stop coming. Back to the rules.
And that'll be my turn.
And the
You
mage
go all day.
blinks in surprise, like, and you hear her mutter something under her breath. Bloody bards. And she completes what she's doing. She reaches down to her belt and pulls out the wand and points it.
She has to make a wisdom save.
Yes, she does. A wisdom save for... Where is it? Where's the book you need? Is not the book you've got.
Question is it going to be radiant damage?
It'll be radiant. It'll be radiant.
That is a failure on all counts. Welcome to the saving throws.
She's terrible at saving throws. I told the dead all the time. I don't need to even guiding bolt. I just told the dead.
Horrible. All my luck goes away. Instant. But yeah, that's a 3.
Yeah, she'll take 8 radiant damage. When you do it, Torvald, do you use that same? Do you re-roll for each enemy, or do you use just the same damage for each person?
Which one?
For Spirit Guardians?
I haven't cast that.
Oh, okay then.
No, different cleric.
Gotcha. How would you prefer I do it? Per each enemy, you want me to re-roll damage or use the 8?
I'll say each time if there's a batch of them, they share it. If there's just one of them, then basically for each person who's on the initiative, as in like the mage is roll for the mage, but if it was a turn of 12 goblins, you'd roll for 12 goblins because no one's got time for that.
Yeah.
But every goblin is at least I don't, places to be. That's a lie. So how much damage is that?
8 radiant.
8 radiant damage. Okay. And she finishes reaching down to the wand on her belt and she takes a step closer to the captain and points her wand not just at Grisara, but to basically everyone standing in the doorway to this tent, including one poor unfortunate guard. And this blast of icy cold air billows through the space as this cone of freezing air, this blizzard storm, heads towards you. I need you all to make me Constitution saving throws, please.
Hey.
Do I get to use my bardic inspiration for that?
Yes, you can use
Glad
it
I
on
have a
saving
cloak
throw.
of protection now.
Ability attack or saving throw.
6.
Awesome.
16.
23.
22.
Okay.
20 or 19.
All right. So anyone below 14, you'll take the full damage.
What is the full damage?
I'm just about to roll it. I'm rolling it on roll 20 because I haven't got enough dice. $37 points of cold damage.
Okay, who's next?
37?
Yes.
Holy cow.
All right,
Insane.
who's next?
I rolled it.
As I say, and that's halved for those of you who made the save.
Okay. And is it halved again since I have resistance to cold?
Yes.
So I get how many points of damage? Because I can't math. I'm a barbarian, not a calculator.
37 divided by 4.
Yeah, what she said. Rounded down. So, yeah, don't ask me to do mental math.
9.
9.
9.
Thank you.
It's 18 for everyone else.
18. Thank you.
That made the save.
Yeah, that made the save.
Who's next?
Torvald's up next. Aldous will be after Torvald.
All right. Well, that wasn't very nice.
And Torvald will. Jeez, that hurts. Kind of scared. Torvald will hold out his hand, and you don't see anything come directly from his hand, but at a point behind them, you'll see this little small sphere of energy start to build, and then it'll explode as he casts Shatter at the spell slot 3rd level. It's going to be so I can hit as many of them as possible. It's a 10-foot radius.
So you're pretty much aiming towards the back of the tent to hit the captain, the maid, and the guard back there.
Right. And the guard up front too.
Yeah, and that one there. Oh, hang on, I knew I forgot something. You mean the frozen statue of a guard?
Wait, what? Oh, he got hit with the.
Yeah, he is currently standing there completely frozen and
Ruh-roh.
possibly dead.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
That was a rectangle. Yeah, so I'll cast it there. And it's a Constitution saving throw, 16 DC.
Okay, 16 DC, and you hear the supports of the tent. I believe, do they get a disadvantage with the actual tent?
On the tent, yeah, if it's inanimate object, yeah.
You hear the splintering of the wood that's supporting and holding up this tent, and roll a damage. The captain has succeeded. The mage and the guard have definitely not.
Okay. Torvald's, you're gonna hear him just kind of like continue to just yell, and it's going to kind of almost double in size as it like maximum force as I channel divinity, and it'll be 32 thunder damage.
Okay. 32. You hear a scream from the guard as he sort of breaks apart. In this mess, you hear the splintering as the tent starts to bow inwards, sort of under the weight of the canvas, no longer being properly supported, as the walls sort of curving inwards. The captain and the mage are both still standing, but not looking quite so good at this point.
Is the tent actually collapsing?
It is in the process of collapsing.
Okay.
It's
So
going
then
to take it a little
Torvald's,
time to do it, but yes, it's in the process of collapsing.
Torvald's going to say,
Get out of the tent and spread out.
and he'll leave and just kind of go over towards this way. Towards the entrance to the camp.
Okay.
Away
So,
from the tents.
Yes, Aldous, it is your turn.
Oh, she is not going to budge for this moment. She is pointing at the mage, and she's going to say, "How dare you?" and cast Hellish Rebuke. And since we've had the discussion,
It's your turn. Hellish Rebuke is a reaction. This is your turn.
If it's a reaction, then I would have done it already. Right?
That was back
As
2
soon as you
turns
took
ago.
damage from the cold blast, you would have done it.
Oh,
That was 2 turns ago.
Okay, well
Yeah.
then.
Hellish Rebuke is a reaction.
Shit, I should have done that then. In that case, then I'm just gonna hit her with Eldritch Blast. How dare you?
I mean, that's still a pretty big hold it. I think a tent counts as a small room or a small house.
11 plus 7 twice. So that's 18 twice.
18. So, is that both at the mage?
Yes.
That will hit the mage. Yes.
Okay, so that's 2d10. That's an 8 plus 4, so 12, and then a 2 plus 4, so 6. So that's 18 force damage.
18. Okay. She crumples
Glass
down to
cannon.
the ground.
And how far away is she from me?
She is about 10 feet away from you from at this point.
Can I dash up, grab the magic wand, and dash back?
You can. Yeah. There's only sort of a table, a chair, and a frozen guard statue in the way. And if you go around, you're not actually in range of the captain, who is still there. But yeah, you can use your movement to do that. You can grab the.
Yeah, I want to grab that wand from her.
Okay.
I can't move anything because
That's
I don't
fine.
have
You can dash back probably about to where you were before.
That's
in
fine.
the entrance to this tent that is, as I said, slowly collapsing. Adair.
Before
Is that everything?
anyone else,
If that's everything, Aldous?
Yeah, no, that's everything.
before anyone else goes, can I use a free action to say the captain is mine?
You definitely can. Adair, this situation has escalated rapidly. What would you like to do?
Somewhat. So to be clear, what we have a frozen guard. We have a guard, and the captain still.
Yeah, and you can
Mobile.
hear. Yeah, you can hear movement from outside the tent. And you're at the back. You can see like tent flaps opening, sort of to hear boots in the snow as shouts of "What the hell is going on? I don't know. I think we're under attack. To arms! To arms!"
I am going to conjure 4 large apes into the room.
Can they look a lot like bears?
Absolutely. And their instruction is going to be bring Lucian and the captain. So I want them to grapple. That's going to be their goal.
Okay. They're going to look like bugbears to remind me that they're not actual bears. But they are apes. How big are they? And how many of them are there?
I was clicking up. They're mediums.
Oh, that is probably for the best. There's not much room in this tent. How many of them are there again?
There are 4.
I'm running out of space in this tent.
Oh boy!
I thought about doing something larger, but then I said no. Let's do this the right way.
So yeah, what's their initiative?
One.
That's good. I've got room at the bottom of the order. Okay, so they're to grab Lucian and the captain is the goal here. Okay, is that everything, Adair?
And I am going to step outside of the flap.
Okay. So, in time to see the closer ranks of the army outside, come sort of running out and forming up in the snow. You hear shouts of "Halt! Halt! To the captain! Rally!" It seems to be a bit of chaos going on as various shouts and orders.
Any apes that try and grapple me are subject to the spirit guardians.
And as they form up, you hear the bowstrings creak and 1, 2, 3. Hang on, let me just keep track of which ones have bows. This is about to get messy.
Oh, jeez.
I really should have used a different token or a different term for the ones with bows, but I didn't quite expect a fight to kick off here. Quite in such a big way. I don't know why. Subtlety. Dynamic D&D.
It's us. You should have prepared for this.
Okay, so the one guard at the bottom right is going to aim for Torvald.
In the tent, or no, out of the.
Torvald is outside the tent.
Right, sorry.
Yeah, no, they are. These guards are outside of the tent. That is that's a 17.
Not hit. Torvald just smacks it away with his shield.
All right, and the other 4 up here are going to aim 2 for Adair and 2 for Ira to be nice and equal. So Adair, that is a 6 and a natural 1.
Miraculously, somehow they miss.
And
they must be stormtroopers.
it must be Ira. That is an 18 and a 15.
No, not at all.
I think we have found the stormtroopers. And I'm going to actually roll a separate initiative for the close combat ones because I need a break. So they're going to go back up there. The others, you see them reaching for spears and sort of forming up and saying, "Don't let them get away!" As they start sort of trying to cut you off. But and there's a lot of snow on the ground and it's going to be quite tricky for them. But yeah, I'll sort them later. Which brings us to Chrysara back in this collapsing tent.
I had to get the dogs to stop barking first. Nobody wants to hear that. Awesome. So, what's my field of view here? What do I see? I'm in the tents.
A lot of apes.
A lot of apes.
There's just apes. Everything's covered in
Okay.
frost and snow and apes. It's gone ape shit.
So I am going to step outside to where I can see all of these guards, because now I can see every single one of them. And I'm going to pull out my Rod of Rulership and yell, "Everybody calm the hell down!" Because I can get everybody within 120 feet of me, and the furthest one away is like 30 feet. So they have to make a DC wisdom saving throw of 15.
Is
And I'm
that
attempting to
everyone,
charm it.
or are you able to select the everyone?
All of the enemies, because I can select the everyone's.
Okay, cool.
Am I your enemy?
No, not yet.
Not yet. You might want to dominate him though.
Well,
reasons.
I mean, I was just going to infer that, but sure.
Okay. Hang on.
So I'm going to attempt to charm the entire elven army.
Well, this is a small portion of it that's within. Like,
Okay.
there's more off map. This is not all
Just
the
let me have this. Just let me
yeah.
have this.
Was it wisdom? Did you say?
Yes.
And it was a 15.
Yes.
You see, as so, what's the wording of it? They are charmed, and
They are charmed by me and see me as their trusted leader for 8 hours.
You know I like you.
Did you hear
You
about
watch-
the time Krasara had an entire elven army?
well, they're not all elves, sadly.
Whatever
gonna-
they are.
She's gonna have a fun night.
You watch as about
Got 8 hours.
10 of them turn to look at Krasara.
And as long as we don't attack them, and I don't attack them, they're my subjects. So I'm gonna have them I'm gonna have my harem of 10 step off to the side so they're separated from the ones that aren't part of my harem.
Does that mean Shocking basically just step to one side?
Step
Okay.
to one side, please.
Okay,
And go
I'll
fix
get
your
on.
green night dress, please.
And I'm gonna need everyone to put on
Weird.
green.
I don't like this.
I'll
Let's
keep
keep
it
it.
PG-13.
Well, you just saved their lives, so there's that.
Yes.
Okay, so Ira, what would you like to do?
Don't attack these 10.
I genuinely. Ira has not processed a single thing that's happened since we've entered this camp.
Neither have I.
She'll
I've
just. She heard Torvald say spread out and she's overwhelmed, so she will go hang out under this tree over here. And then I guess just hold an action of like, I don't know. I don't think she wants to necessarily hurt anyone, so she's just kind of on guard. Can you hold a defense reaction?
You can take a dodge action,
I'll take a dodge
which
action.
is yeah. Okay, back in the tent, the captain
Wisdom save.
makes a wisdom saving throw. He fails a wisdom saving throw. How much damage does he take?
19 points of radiant damage.
Oof, he's having a bad day, poor guy. And you hear him yell, "To arms! To arms!" And he looks around at the collapsing tent, at the bears, at things, and he slashes his sword through sort of this collapsing wall of canvas, and sort of starts backing out of the tent that way. 3 of the ape creature monstrosities, apes, will get an attack of opportunity if they wish to take it.
Their instructions are to grapple him. Would that count in your book? Because they wouldn't attack him.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to
necessarily,
escape.
Okay. So what do you want me to roll for their grapple
Actually,
attempt?
he's, of course, he disengages. Let's make that easier. That would be a perfectly sensible thing to do. I always forget that NPCs can disengage. Yeah, he's disengaging, and he is, retreating from this situation. And that brings us to the apes.
How far away did he move?
He is, at this point, about 15 feet away under a tree.
Did you say?
35 from you.
I'm sorry.
About 15 feet away.
15. Okay. I couldn't tell if that was a 5-0 or a 1-5.
1-5.
Just trying to make sure. In that case, 2 of the apes are going to pursue him. Their speed is 30, and they are going to attempt to grapple him at the end of that pursuit. And if he goes up a tree, they'll go up the tree because they can climb at the same speed.
Yay, monkeys!
Okay, so make me an athletics or strength if they don't have athletics check for the monkeys.
Hey, where the monkeys? The first one gets a 17, and the second one gets a nat 20.
They've got him. They've got him. He's being held under this tree by 2 monkeys. Lucian, the tent is coming down around you. You can't really see the captain clearly anymore, as the back end of the tent is pretty much a collapsing canvas. There are now apes involved. Oh, the 2 apes. What about the other 2 apes?
The other 2 are going to follow instructions and attempt to grapple Lucian.
And make wisdom. They need to make wisdom saves.
That will be a 5 and an 11.
Okay. Then I'll roll damage for 1 damage for both of them. 15 points of damage, of radiant damage.
Okay, and then I presume they're still trying to grapple, so that's, I believe, athletics from the apes and acrobatics or athletics from Lucian if he doesn't want to be grappled by apes.
Maybe he's in there, who knows?
One thing you learn as a DM is don't assume things.
30-20.
I got a 17 and a 24.
And one of them gets me.
And once they have them, because I told them to bring them, they'll use whatever movement they have left to bring him to where I'm standing. That goes for the captain as well.
So how much movement have they got full?
30.
Okay. So half's movement dragging Lucian. It can probably... Is it Lucian or Lucian?
6 of one, half dozen.
Lucy-Ann. It's Lucy-Ann.
Yeah. It can probably get Lucy-Ann sort of out the tent. Well, if Aldous and Chrysara let past, they can start dragging the captain, but they had to chase after him. All right. As I said, so Lucian, you've been dragged out the tent by an ape. What would you like to do?
I should have used cutting words, but I did not. I will attempt to break the grapple.
Okay.
22.
25.
Let go of me. He's getting away.
Okay, is that everything?
Well, that would have been my action.
Is your action to try and escape the grapple? You've got your bonus action.
I will kind of whisper under my breath and cast a 2nd level healing word on myself.
Okay. Torvald, you can hear sort of behind you that the rest of the camp starting to come to arms, and more troops sort of starting to scramble together, but it's taking, they've got to grab stuff and get ready. But yeah, you reckon there's somewhere between 50 to 100 men probably in that camp getting ready. You can see from where you are from the camp, you can see the rest of the town, and there's the river, and your boat was back in the river about half a mile or so away. What would you like to do?
Okay, so we're not in Tilafen.
You are in Tilafen.
We are.
As far as you know.
Okay, because I thought that these people said they didn't like the people from Tilafen.
You hadn't really managed to get a hold of what was going on in the situation, because you instead decided to spill your lifetime traumas on.
Right.
So it's up to you to determine what is happening politically and tactically here.
As an army bears down on us, thank you,
Yes.
Chrisara.
Most of them are ours.
You are most of them are not yours. A small proportion of them are yours. You are in the south of this town.
Where the army camp is?
Yeah. It's not exactly to like lay out, but yeah, you're roughly where the army camp is. Your boat is off map up this direction.
Okay, so this is Rivermore.
Yes.
Okay.
Technically, the mage started it. All I did was block the door.
Yeah, you don't have very long to think, but that's
Right.
you caught a glimpse of it from the sky before you landed. There was a map on the table in the tent.
All right. I would try to intimidate or something, but I'm terrible at that. So Torvald is going to he's going to reach up into the sky, and as he pushes his fist up, you just see this bolt of lightning shoot out and go up into the sky. It's not going to hit anyone. It's just going to hit the sky, and then you just see these this cloud form as these winds start swirling, and he's going to cast Call Lightning.
Okay.
And we're gonna center it, as much over top of them as possible. It's huge. It's like 120. And then he will call down a bolt right here in the middle of these guys.
Okay, so in the middle of this one, the next round of one scrambling to go.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
pinging it on the
Yeah. What is the DC on that?
16 dexterity.
Okay. 16 dexterity. Roll the damage as these troops assembling, pouring out of tents.
Yeah, it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, including
Yeah,
whoever
yeah.
this guy is. Is that like a general or something?
You don't know. To be honest, from where you are, you can't. You can just see them, make them out, but you can't. You haven't had a chance to. You don't know their names.
All right, 14 lightning damage.
Okay. You watch as a couple of them go down, but the majority, injured or not, are still on their feet.
And then Torvald's gonna just say,
Don't move any closer if you don't want to die.
I'll let you make an intimidation check against an army, but I'm just going to let you know that the DC is...
probably impossible because I have a intimidation
Unless you have
negative
something-
1. That's a 16.
You're not sure if they heard you.
Over all the lightning and
Over the lightning and everything that's
Everything.
going on. But yes. So, is that everything, Torvald?
Yeah.
So, Aldous, Torvald appears to be declaring war on a large portion of the elven army. What would you like to do?
I'm going to finally leave the tent. I have the staff, the magic wand in my hand. I am going to mentally reach out to Sindri and ask her what's the situation of the boat.
You are too far away to talk to Sindri.
Damn. Okay. In that case, I'm going to be say to I guess Adair's the closest one to me, and Who else? Just Adair?
Adair, Krasara, Torvald are all close. Ira is a little distance away under a tree.
Okay, I'm gonna say we need to get to the boat now.
Yeah, the quickest way to your boat would be to through the rest of the camp. Probably from where you are at the moment.
Uh,
I'm not saying it's the best way to the boat. You never know. Someone with local knowledge might be able to help you in this situation.
do I know that Krasara charmed the people?
You can tell that some of them are no longer pointing bows at you.
Krasara, can you have them escort us to our boat?
Oh, I'd be delighted to. Gentlemen!
And ladies.
Yeah,
well,
maybe.
if there's ladies in there too, come on. Come.
Okay. Is there anything, Alice? Is there anything you wanted to do?
I
Action
want
order.
to hold an action if we get attacked by anyone. I want to. If we are attacked, I want to cast Eldritch Blast at them.
Okay.
But I'm gonna hold that action for now.
Sounds. Specifically by if we are attacked, as in if anyone attacks any of you, you want to Eldritch Blast them, or
if anyone who is currently not a friend.
okay. I mean, it will depend on where it happens, whether you can see them, because. But, yeah. Okay, so the guards. You notice some of the guards are starting to form up what appears to be protective corridor. There's a bit of a scuffle going on between these two here. Between two of the guards. There's one here. Snap out of it! Snap out of it! Why are you listening to them? What's going on here? Dave!
Uh-oh. He got the death name. He's gonna die now.
Defend the Empire!
It's been cursed with the name of Dave.
Adair, this is your turn.
First thing
What'd
I'm
you like
going
to
to do is say, Lucian, the goal was to get you out of there. I'm going to tell the two apes that are with Lucian to protect him. And that's gonna be it for the.
Okay. There is scuffling and fighting. You hear a scream from Dave. I'm sorry.
Oh
Poor Dave.
no.
Poor Dave.
Dave!
You were clearly bewitched. You watch as the guards approaching start. You hear someone shout, "Enemy mage, scatter!" And they start dispersing
I'm worth this.
out across the snow. Because, they've fought mages before. And
Anyone who enters that field needs to make a wisdom save.
yeah, these are the ones close to you are
Friendlies.
friendlies.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, depends who, yeah, they are Krasara's charmed ones. But yeah, you watch as the others start scattering out, and there's a creak of bowstrings and a volley of arrows come sailing down towards you. And
I'll yell shields up to at least try to save my mini army.
I'm gonna say one both to each for who is out in the open. That'll be Krasara. At this point, you're still in the sort of the mouth of this collapsing tent. So Lucian, Aldous, and Adair. That will be a miss for Lucian. Aldous, that is an 18, and Adair, that is a 21. And there's this hail of arrows
Okay, that hits.
coming towards you.
Oh, sorry. What was the one to get at Lucian?
A terrible, terrible, awful miss. This rain of arrows is coming down towards you. I will figure out the damage when I find out where
What about the apes?
Oh yes, I'll say one towards an ape. Does a 16 hit an ape?
Yes, it does.
The apes.
Sorry.
I'm after. You just don't like these apes because they grab you.
Yeah.
They were trying to protect you, but that's
So,
okay. I'll solve that later.
That
Lucia.
is 4 damage to the ape. 7 damage to a dare. And I think it hit Eldest, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's 10 points to Eldest.
All right, Aldous collapses.
Shit.
Aldous collapses and is bleeding and, I guess unconscious.
You're
And an ape
unconscious,
is-
yes.
An ape is dead. Poofs in smoke and is gone.
Goes
Poor
back to whatever they were doing in the Feywild beforehand. Okay, so as this volley of arrows from the other guards behind, Chrysara, the tent behind you, sort of crumpling down. What are you doing?
Okay, I am going to get out of the tent, and I am going to go stand next to Aldous to at least stand in front of her to protect her. I don't think I have any. Do I have a healing
What a
potion?
good that's gonna do.
I'm going to order my men to circle around us, form a wall through here to protect us. And I'm going to immediately look through my items to see if I have a healing potion. Because didn't Torvald give all of us one healing potion
Maybe?
way back when? Because you had several. that we-
Possibly.
I
we
think
had
I did.
bought. I think you did. I'm going to go on and say that I do have one.
Wait,
And-
and you're likely soon not to have one.
I'm gonna say I do. I have to go back through my notes. I'm pretty sure I do because I haven't used it yet, and I'm gonna dump it down Aldous' throat.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think if you had them, they were just
They weren't-
ordinary low
yeah,
level
they
ones.
weren't.
Was it 1d4 plus?
Yeah, because they weren't.
So
Super
1d4
duper-
plus 4.
I'm gonna say seeing as these are dubious healing potions of possible existence, but yeah, 1d4 plus.
Because
Yeah, a
don't-
regular healing potion is 2d4 plus 2.
Yeah, because I also still have
That's what I
one.
meant. 2d4 plus 2. I don't use potions. I play a bard.
You can still use potions and save your spell slots.
All right.
Can't. I've got a sword for when I run out of spell slots.
I come conscious.
Yay! Because I still have one from You Lost.
Yes.
But
Oh
I
yeah,
don't-
you still have the weird
I
fungus.
still have a
one.
mushroom from you. I have not been brave
You
enough to
do
try
have
that.
mushrooms. Yeah. So, Aldous, you're back to consciousness. Ira, over under your tree. Kasara's guards seem to be forming some kind of cordon, but there is the rest of the well, not the rest of the army, the rest of this part of the army starting to bear down on you. What would you like to do?
I think we should leave. I would like to leave.
Probably a good idea.
Okay, well, I'll start to leave. Which direction is the boat, good ma'am?
The direct direction to the boat is probably on this map about hang on. Let me draw an arrow.
Ooh, please do.
That way.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Do I know any more direct ways?
You don't know where they're trying to get to. They seem to be trying to get sort of somewhere heading west. So that sort of, you know that heading this way, where I'm pointing now, will take you to the footbridge, the crossing point, and to the north side of the river. So you know that's the sort of path that will lead you there. But yeah, they seem to be heading into the face of the army.
Okay. so the currently Chrysara controlled army members are kind of forming like a little blockade.
Mm-hmm.
Attempting to, yes. Oh, I forgot to the dead ones.
I'll join them. Cool. I'll just move up here and kind of start standing with the order with my shield up.
Yeah,
And I will hold another like dodge action.
Okay. All right.
There's so many dots and stuff. Like, what's going on?
This is me trying to keep track of like which ones are the ones that have been hit, which ones are the ones that are charmed, which ones are which ones. The captain struggles and is attempting to get out of the grasp of these apes. I don't think that's going to succeed.
It's a lot of people for 2010s.
Yeah.
There's more off the map. This is the closer bit that you can walk through. This is an army camp. There are 5 of you. 6 of you now.
Well, there's actually more than that because I have 9.
Yeah.
9
And
soldiers.
we've got the apes.
And 3 apes.
Yes. Yeah. I think. Yeah. You've got an army. He's trying to the captain's trying to attempt to escape the
Get away.
apes.
Yeah.
That was a 10 and a 17. Because there's 2 apes holding him.
Oh, he's okay.
Yeah.
Well, the 10 definitely failed. The 17 succeed.
So he's currently being held by 1 ape, which is not much of an improvement for the situation. Okay. Which just takes us back to the apes, who just probably just going to grab him again. So poor guy really is not gained much by that.
Yeah, and they're going to drag him as far as they can as well. So the ape that lost the grapple is going to re-grapple. See how he does. That's going to be a dirty 20.
Yeah. No, he's re-grappled. So yeah, they can probably get him about 15
So
feet.
they both have a grip on him, and they're going to move as far as they can, which their normal movement's 30 feet. So
Dragging this guy who's struggling, perched in the snow, like reaching for the branches of trees as he passes them, going, swearing loudly in Elvish and calling, "Fall up! Just kill! Just do something! Somebody!" Lucian, you are still being held by an ape.
he's not holding him. He's protecting
no.
him now.
Okay, you're being protected by an ape.
If I turn to see the captain being dragged, how is he looking?
He's not looking too great. He's wounded and also very unhappy. But yeah, you can see the army.
He's just monkeying around.
I will make
The
my
army drawing in.
I am ignoring everything going on behind me at this point, like just fury in my eyes, and I see the captain try and get his glance, and I cast Dissonant Whispers at 2nd level, so a wisdom save.
She's terrible at wisdom saves. Do it, Tess.
That's a 9.
So in his head he hears, "My name is Lucian Lyodon. You murdered my father. Now meet your death." And that's what is it?
I think that's 4d6. Don't mess with the classics.
Then why are you laughing? I am not offended.
19 points of psychic damage.
You hear him screaming, and then he stops screaming and falls limp in the arms of the apes holding him.
I turn around and say, "We can go now."
Are you offering them a suggestion of
Yes.
like?
Well, or
Yeah.
I'd say, where is your boat? Anyone?
How do we get back
Stop
to our
way.
ship?
Okay, so it's on the river.
Aye.
Do I know any ways in that general direction that might help us avoid?
You'd know a way you can loop round more
Follow
through
me
the fields and stuff a little.
this direction, and I would point and head off.
Yeah, you can know that if you head more this way, you can loop round without having to like run directly into the army. Although you're still perhaps going to have to avoid them at some
Right.
points.
Right.
It is nighttime. Remember, it is dark. Okay, so Torvald, Lucian sort of pointing you off that, heading off that way.
Yeah. Which way is he pointing?
He started running off
That way? Okay.
on the map. What is right?
All right. Decisions. We just started a war. Well, Torvald's going to.
They don't know where we're from.
Thankfully.
Well, now that everyone that was in the tent's dead, they're just an army attacking us. Torvald's going to call another bolt down. And it's going to be right here in between these 5 young gentlemen.
Didn't scatter sufficiently.
They tried.
Okay. What's the damage?
What is the damage? That is a good question. My D10s ran away from me. I don't play in Black Death, so I don't have an abundance of them.
Yeah.
Ooh, 21.
Okay, you hear the thud of a couple of bodies hitting the snow. And
Stand down or we'll kill you all.
And Torvald's going to reach down and rip out the spirit of his weapon, this blue ethereal-looking axe, and he's going to chuck it at this guy right here.
okay.
As he attacks him. Nat 20. Woo! All right. Oh, wow.
He's
That was
not dead.
anticlimactic. It's going to be 10 force damage.
He's still not dead.
It's not dead.
Everything Torvald.
And then Torvald's going to start making his way over towards where he's running away.
Okay. Aldous, you can hear the guards sort of the creak of bowstrings as they're reloading for another volley. Lightning cracks down, thundering clouds above, and you hear this rumble of thunder. And you almost for a moment think you hear almost all through you for a moment think you hear a voice almost on the wind in the thunder. It's kind of a fight.
We hear that?
Maybe you imagined it. You're not sure.
Just me? I hear.
All of you.
Thunderer wants us to fight. And so we shall.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Could I be able to tell if it's from my deity?
You could imply that. I mean, it is the guy,
They're like,
the god of thunder, of war, and
Axes.
axes.
check.
who the fuck was that?
That was Thunder. He blesses us.
All right. Who do I see that is an enemy?
You can see
Can you
a captain and sort of about.
anyone within 120 feet?
Yes, yeah. There is what looks to be the captain of the guard that Torvald had just chucked his axe at, and at least a dozen or so soldiers within 120 feet. Yeah.
All right. What I'm gonna do is, because now that I know that my Eldritch Blast can split and hit more than one person, I'm gonna use my Eldritch Blast, and I'm gonna hit one. Is going towards the person that Torvald threw his axe at, and then one's gonna hit one of the archers from behind that.
Okay. If you
One
hit.
right next to him, so maybe that one.
Yeah. 16 plus 10. 16 plus 7 and a 10 plus 7. So a 17 and a 25.
25 will hit.
That's the captain.
And if the other one is the other guy, then what was that? 17?
Yes.
That will hit.
So the captain gets what is it? A +4? Okay, so the captain gets a 14 force, and the other guy gets a 7 force damage.
The other guy, previously already hit by lightning, drops to the ground, dead in the snow. You can hear.
I shot all this.
There is a lot of screaming now. There's torches being lit. There's a sense of chaos in this camp. And Aldous, is that everything?
I am going to hold on to the nearest friendly person and try to use them to keep me up. Kinda, if I have to, I will duck under them to hide from any arrows that might come at me.
I'll protect you because it looks like I'm still standing in front of you.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Okay.
I'm still there. I got you, boo.
So at this point, the enemy guards continue running forwards, scattering as they go, trying to sort of get closer to cut you off. Unfortunately, this is not the best of terrain. So they're not expecting an attack from inside their own camp.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
They really shouldn't have attacked us. It was a
Um,
grave error.
So Torvald, Lucian, Chrysara, Adair, and Ira, not Aldous because she's currently hidden behind Chrysara, but we'll all take.
Do I still have my men blocking us?
Yeah, and a couple of your men are also taking. Going to take risk arrows here at this point, but yeah. So Ira, that's a 5. Adair, that's a 22.
Ouch.
Chrysara, that is an 18. Torvald, that is a 6. And that is a 9 for Lucian. So Adair's hit, I thought, with an else.
Mm-hmm.
And was it Chrysara as well?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It was 8.
So Adair, that is 6 points of damage, piercing, and Chrysara, that is 5. As this volley of arrows comes down from the sky, you hear the clash of blades as Chrysara's ensorcelled guards are clashing with the incoming army, and then it is Adair's turn.
I am going to dismiss the apes. I'm going to yell, "We need to run." And I am going to conjure 7 horses. I can do up to 60 feet around me, which I think all of our friendlies are within. So that will be 1 for all of us, plus Lucian. And we don't need that many. However many we need, we'll put everybody on it.
6
I was
of
going
them.
to grab the captain, but, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know if you
horses
needed
sort
the
of
body.
poof, poof, out of nowhere. And it's
So many things on this map.
I was just imagining them like pooping up underneath everyone. They're like, what?
I was more imagining. Actually, it's a very interesting. But you know, if anyone's played Witcher 3, this is a Roach the Demon Horse situation. Like someone like no clipped through like trees or
Okay, so there's one by Ira.
halfway up a
as well,
wall.
but, yeah.
Yeah, you've got one spare. Yeah, as these horses appear around you.
Who did combat?
At this point, I've got a question for you. Is you have an option to get on your horses and try and get the hell out of here, or try and stay and fight an army.
Trying to get out of there.
I feel like we should run.
Thunder said to fight.
And
Yeah, but
Fidelity,
you already
let's go.
started running away, so get on your damn horse.
Yeah, get on your horse and go. We don't have the hit points.
I'm
for
taking
this.
arrows in your place, buddy. Get on a damn horse.
Okay. I'll get on the horse, but as we're going by, I'm going to try to throw more Eldritch Blasts as we're leaving. That's my plan.
Okay, I mean, they're going to... If you... Basically, I'll give you the option here. You can choose to focus all your efforts on trying to get away and sort of reduce the risk of being sort of taking a few more arrows as you go. Or if you try and stay and sort of escape slower there and sort of put your efforts on fighting back, then there's going to be a couple more volleys of arrows involved. That is your counterbalance here.
I'm going to be slower.
Okay.
I'm going to be slower.
Torvald will join, I guess, in being slower since Thunder said to fight. So,
Mm-hmm.
but he will attempt to move away still.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get on my horse, but order all of my men to attack. Destroy. Finish them.
I will make every attempt to get Aldous on her horse, but if she doesn't move towards it, I'm going to get on mine and leave.
I'm going to get on the horse. I'm just going to be slower to do it. Because...
Okay.
Yeah.
So Torvald and Aldous, you each take the potential of 2 arrows each as you stall to try and sort of fight as this is going on. Aldous, that is a 5 and a 14.
Oh, the 14.
The 14 hits.
That
Lady
is
Luck. Lady Luck.
9
please.
points of damage.
And I'm down.
You do manage to Eldritch Blast.
Am I still... did I get any Eldritch Blasts
I'll
out?
say you managed to get a couple of Eldritch Blasts off. But...
Okay. Am I still on the horse?
It's currently slumped over this horse. If anyone's near, they can try and help that.
If she's
I mean,
still
Adair
near-
technically controls these horses.
If she's still near me, I'll throw her on my horse. I'll just ride past and throw her on mine.
Torvald, that is an 18 and a 5. No, 6.
Neither of them.
Ding, ding.
So they call down another blast right here. Oh, okay.
Sorry, I was kind of transitioning away from the.
Oh, that's all right. Just shooting blasts and killing more things, I guess. So.
This transition towards the fight as you're leaving the fight behind as you head off into the snow-covered fields around Rivermore, making your way back towards the river. And we'll pick up after the break.
Woo!
And we're back. Most of us, at least.
I just realized I've probably been playing too much Civilization, so I just want to fight stuff. Domination victory. Let's go.
You know, as you... Our heroes are not fleeing, but retreating from a large portion of the army of Elden Ra through the snowy...
We are charging to the rear.
Yes, charging to the rear on fey horses summoned by Adair, sort of racing through sort of snow-covered fields, past ruined houses, back towards the river. Looking back behind you, you can see torches being lit. You see, but exactly what's going on back at the army camp, it's hard to be sure. And as you go racing through the fields ahead of you, you can see the boat, and you hear the familiar, "Who goes there?"
Fuck off!
Make me an intimidation check. As the 2 guards left to keep an eye on your boat stick their heads up from the bushes.
Intimidation.
Yeah, intimidation. With advantage, because you are currently charging down
Net
towards
20.
them on fey horses.
Net 20.
Pardon?
Net 20.
Okay. Plus something, I assume?
24.
We're fucking off. And they melt away into the darkness. And you have reached the Cloudmaiden. So Lucian, what you see is in this quite shallow, narrowish stream, you see this long boat filling most of the stream. It's made of this silvery looking wood, and it has got a mast. And I don't know if you've ever used a sail or not.
Don't know if that's in his skill set.
Yeah, it has a mast and sail, but you also notice that there is this carved wooden chair towards the front of this boat, and it has no oars. And currently sat on this chair, there is a cat.
I have so many questions.
Well, we've got answers for you.
You don't know how long you've got before the rest of the army, if they are pursuing you, catch up. But what would you like to do, everyone?
Get on the ship.
When we get to the boat, once everyone's on the ship, if nobody else goes for it, Adair is going to move the cat and sit down in the chair.
The cat hisses at you, and then she hops down from the chair.
Oh, I didn't say move gently. I'll kick the damn thing out of the chair.
Adair, should we be tying ourselves down?
Probably.
Okay, and I'll hold on and like...
What kind of group are you?
I'll grab Lucian. Sit down!
Somebody grab the corpse of Aldous.
Is Aldous still unconscious? Wait. Did anyone heal Aldous?
We would have healed her if she was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say someone heal Aldous. Otherwise, Aldous, stop making some death saving throws here.
Well, first of all, Torvald would go up and use spare the dying.
Okay, so she's still unconscious.
Yes, but I would have used spare the dying right away.
Yeah. It's just to enter break. That would be really unfortunate. You've got, oh shit, Aldous is dead. We just whoopsies. Back to the
Whoopsies.
Yeah.
And then Torvald will, I guess, how many people can I hit with this thing? Six creatures. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna cast Mass Healing Word, and actually no, never mind. I'll just Healing Word normally on her. So it's gonna be 7 healing.
Okay. Aldous?
So you see this bolt of lightning come from the sky and strike her in the chest as she gets woken up.
Please tell me you yell out, "It is alive!"
It's alive!
I was thinking more clear.
And the lightning spreads across her body, and you see like these little sparks like stitching together her wounds. As she gets 6 points of healing.
Okay.
Was that 6 points or 7 points?
7, sorry. I remembered the first thing I said for some reason.
But yes, you've all reached this boat.
Torvald will also take out the
Aldous.
spider climbing hat.
So you watch as he takes out this ornate headdress strung with beads and sort of this elaborate spider-themed headdress of silver and with jet beads and dangling spider web-like net.
This is not like an eyes wide shut boat, is it?
It's just so I can keep a grip on the boat, so I don't fall off.
There's so much I could do with that. I'm just going to leave it alone.
I've tied myself to the seat as well as Lucian.
Are we on the boat? What happened?
Yeah.
Adair's
The horse is
flying. You might want
vanished,
to
by the way.
tie yourself down.
The horses of what?
Vanished.
Yeah.
We got you back to the boat. Now we're gonna leave.
Wait, we need to fight.
Well,
The Thunderer told us to.
We could fight from the air.
we could do that too.
I'm okay with that. Let's go.
Mr. Horseman, can we go, please?
Adair is going to look at Ira. Fight or run?
Adair, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Everything that's happened in recent past has made no sense to me. I don't know why we're fighting. I don't really know what happened. I know someone hit someone with ice. Everything seems really bad. I don't think we should be here anymore. I'd like to go get the wand. That's always been my goal. I'd rather not die a second time.
I got a
Yes?
wand. I got a wand.
Is it
And
made of glass?
No, I hold up the wand that I stole from the mage.
It is made of wood.
It's
If-
beautiful, but it's
Lucian
not
does,
correct.
Lucian does have a glass staff.
I would say if
Hey, that's a personal problem.
if Lucian is close to Aldous, he would take out the glass staff and kind of just bop her on the head with it and cast mage armor.
Is it empty or is the glass staff full?
I'm still wanting to know what its shape is. But anyway, as the DM and I know, when we went to look for glass wands to use for the imagery in the trailer.
Don't do Don't do it.
I'm
What
fairly
did you
certain
Google?
most of the viewers know.
So you have AC 13 plus your dex.
Oh, sweet. AC 13 plus Dex.
Please tell me you Googled glass wands.
I'm doing that right now.
Yes, we did.
Don't do it,
You know
Sharon.
exactly the results. Yes. Kids,
Oh,
don't do this
my.
at home. Okay.
And it's on eBay, no less.
Moving
Anyways.
swiftly onwards. I don't care where, but onwards.
Anywhere but here.
Well,
I would
taking
say there's a place we can go that you'll be safe for the time being. And I would point them in the direction of Jessavin, right?
So you're pointing them towards the capital?
Yes. Unless there's a place that makes more sense that I would have been operating from.
So you would have been you've been operating out of Rivermore, like this is
Cool.
Jezebin is several days like by road, about 3-4 days west of where you are now. So the situation that you know of is a Rivermore centric situation.
Gotcha. Is there a place that would be more
Jezebin would be is the capital of the country and would
right?
be
Is there a place
best
near that would
defended.
be inconspicuous for us to go out of the way from the Eldenra forces?
So depending, I mean, there's a lot of, especially on this side of Tielefen, there is a lot of countryside, a lot of sort of empty hills and that sort of space. If you're looking for a town, apart from Rivermore itself, the nearby towns would be a place called Lean in Lake, which is on an island in the middle of the lake, and a town called Crookswood, which has a lot of ties to Rivermore, which is on the banks of the same lake.
One more question.
Yes?
With the information that I've gotten from my
Spying?
subterfuge, what would be who would need that information the quickest?
So you know, actually make me an investigation check here, but with if you've got
I have a passive 22 investigation.
Okay, and so you've got an investigation check here. You can either use charisma or intelligence for it. This is for gonna say how much information you had gleaned before they caught you.
23.
Okay. So you know a fair bit. you know that reinforcements will be arriving in Rivermore tomorrow. You know also that they are minimal reinforcements because the majority of the forces are further south, sort of looping round through the heart of Tilafen towards the capital itself. You know that there is a flying fortress armed and in the air, and that they are making for the capital. And that is where the bulk of the enemy forces are. And if you wanted to, so you know that as the bulk are heading south, if you wanted to stay out their way, your safest bet would be to head towards Lean or Crookswood. If you wanted to stay out the army's way, but
No, that's not necessarily the goal. Sorry, I'm putting together a sending phrase.
That's fine. So, Adair, are you taking flight?
Since we don't know where we're going, yes, I am. And we are going to go as fast as the ship will go, straight up.
Straight up. Okay.
Straight up.
Okay, so, Lucian, you feel this strange tremor through the deck under your feet as you're sort of wrapping your way around, like, hang on, what can I fit into 30 words, 25 words? That's sort of counting through the message. You feel a shudder under your feet as the entire boat you're standing on just shoots up directly sort of into the sky. Like, well, I'd say more on an angle, like it's not completely vertical, but it shoots upwards into the sky. And weirdly, it tips at an angle, but it takes you a moment to realize that because your feet are firmly planted on the deck. Down is still the deck. Even though, so when you look sort of behind you, you can see the ground, but it doesn't feel like down. There's this weird gravitational pull keeping you on the deck as this boat is going up and up and up. And you see Rivermore laid out beneath you. You can see the town. You can see torches burning in the town on either side of the river. You can see what looks to be torches burning from a troop heading down towards the waterway up until recently you are. And the boat carries on going up.
Well, just for one turn. I don't mean infinite.
Okay.
And the boat goes up.
What do you think of our ship?
And it stays there.
Yeah, so you can see Rivermore. It's not a whole world level yet.
I do have many questions and want to do proper introductions, but I need to do something very quickly. And I will, from the behind my ear, I'll pull out some copper wire and I will cast sending to whoever my direct superior is.
So that would be probably either Rosalind or Marcellus Verne at Rivermore.
That who I guess who makes most sense.
Either pick one.
Is one
Lord or Lady Verne?
Is one? Are they the same rank, or is one? Who's the more?
Pretty much, they're the same rank.
Who's the most rank?
Yeah.
Then
I'd send it to. Yeah. I'd send it to Rosalind. Escaped. Flying fortress headed to capital. Minimal reinforcements headed to Rivermore. I'm headed to capital with mercenaries who saved me, unless you have different orders.
It's a pause.
Well, that's how you're supposed to use those. That seemed efficient.
Yeah.
Thought you weren't a spy.
Head. We will defend Rivermore. We have reinforcements. Take word to Queen. Guard the capital. Try recruit mercenaries.
And I'll leave it at that. I won't respond. We need to We need to hurry. We need to get to Jesavin, the capital of Telefin.
All right, and why should we help you?
Well, because you really pissed off Eldenra. You took out like almost a whole army camp.
Aye, so you see what we're worth.
Yes. I mean, this is very self-interest here. Like, they don't forget easily. Yeah, they don't like Telefin, but they're not going to forget you.
All right.
So you're kind of in the shit right now.
Well, we don't plan on sticking around for very long, so
Well, then
seems
take
more
me,
like a you problem.
I don't
than
give a
us.
shit. Take me there, and then you can go. I
All
have
right.
bigger things than whatever you guys want to deal with.
I highly doubt that.
Trying to save my country.
We're trying to save the holy world, so you know.
Then start with Telefin. I don't care. Just please, I need to get to the queen.
Well, we can take you there, I guess, if it's all right with everyone else.
Where is it?
Do I have any bearings on where?
I'll say for convenience, somewhere tucked away in your pocket, stained and crumpled, you have a map.
Here.
Okay, so we are. I'm gonna look at the map.
So he rolls
We're
out this
here?
map, and I think if we're on the right page, that should be the map. It's
Big
visible in
big
roll
star.
20. So you are in. That was Rivermore. That was where you were.
Slightly southwest.
Okay. How many days is it normally to get there?
By horse, 3 to 4.
Well, at our
You can
altitude
make it
and
there in a night's.
calculating-
You
Yeah,
can
I was
make
gonna
it
say,
there
at
in a
our
night's flying.
At our
Who's
altitude
got-
with the rotational axis of the Earth, and we'd be there.
Yeah.
And just
You can make it to there. You know, based
Hold
on the speed of your ship, that you can make it there before dawn.
Hold on, let
You
me
fly
just
through the
calculate
night.
orbital mechanics real quick. And
If there's no incidences along the way, you can make it there before dawn.
Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep.
And yes, I'm a spy.
Don't get an attitude with me, mister. I will untie you and
You
let
don't
you
have-
go.
you don't have to.
Well, I mean, if you like to stay tied up, so. Do they have a place to send post where we're going?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I needed. And I'll take out some stuff, and I've got a lot of letter updating to do.
Second question.
Yes.
Who are you?
Oh, not to me.
I
should have.
I'm Chrysora.
Pleasure.
Torvald, nice to meet you.
Likewise.
I
And
think all
the one
this is
flying's a
sleep.
dare. He's pretty quiet right now for some reason.
I
think
usually
it's
prefer
this.
truths, but Adair isn't too bad looking himself either.
And
think-
the one sleeping's Aldous.
Yeah, let her be. She yeah, let's let her sleep.
My turn to introduce myself now?
Oh, I've never seen someone look like you before.
Yes. Most people haven't. My name is Ira. I come from Chorus originally, and then I ended up in Sorlinsby, and then I met these people, and we've been traveling for a long time, and we have this flying boat, and I look around at everyone else.
I'm engaged.
Okay, great. And yes, we've been traveling for a long time, and we met some crazy people. We thought were bad guys, but they're actually kind of on our side. We're trying to find a wand. It's really fun. We're trying to find the giants right now. I've died once. That's not why my skin's blue, though. Unrelated. How are you? Iris Stratus, at your service.
He would take her hand and kiss the top of it. It's a real pleasure. Thank you all for helping me.
Torvald's gonna kind of glare at him and say,
It's no problem. It seems you're on the right side of this conflict anyway.
No need to be jealous, my dwarf friend. I mean,
I'm not
You know
jealous.
what- you know
what are
what
you
they-
talking about?
I mean, you know what they say though about dwarves' beards. It's usually compensating for something, but that's fine.
Would you like to find out?
No, I'm good. I'm real good.
Perhaps everybody could keep their pants on the ship. That would be great.
That's not what I was talking about. He was referring to the size of their hammer, right?
Well, if you want to compare size, and I'll hold up my maul. I think I have the biggest.
A pretty big shield.
Everyone try to
Turn off the anti-grav and flip the ship over.
Looking back at Krasar, I'm like, you must be.
Sails on in peace.
Looking back at Krasar, he'd be like, you must be from Isfjell.
I am from Isfjell. Trailbro, to be exact. How do you know?
Read a lot about it. Heard about their women. Know they can hold their own.
I certainly have no trouble standing my ground.
I can see that.
What have you heard about chorus women? Because I don't remember.
Have I heard anything about chorus women?
Yes.
Chorus is it is a vast city. Well, a vast city. It's bigger than any city in Tilafen. It is a hub for merchants around the world, and it's pretty much it. They say that, you know, if you want to, if you're looking for particular exotic magical goods, strange artifacts, that is the place you will find them. It is, and its women are very varied, as in you've got everything from, you know, people who look like cats, people who look like dragons.
I would say all of that, and I say, but I'm sure you're one of a kind.
Wow, that's so exciting.
He just said the equivalent of "you're not like other girls." Ew.
Ooh.
Ew. Gross.
Okay, so as Adair is sailing onwards and Aldous is sleeping, is anyone keeping a watch?
Torvald will keep watch.
Okay. All right, make me a perception check as you go.
It's going to be
Very
a
quickly.
22.
Okay. So as you fly onwards above Tilafen, you see. First of all, you start passing above this vast lake. You can see sort of the moonlight reflecting off it beneath you. It's not as big as some of the it's not as big as Pendle Lake that you flew over back in the forest, but it is a fairly large-sized lake. And as you fly over, you see this island in the center, and you can see this tower rising up off the edge of this island. A faint glow in the upper windows of it. But
That's
also,
the
as you're
lake here.
yeah, so you're passing over Lean in the lake. But as you're sort of level with the town of Lean, you catch a glimpse again off to the south. Far distant to the south, the glint of something off in the distance in the night, just a glint of light off in the distance. Many miles to the south. Also in the air.
Ooh.
But you fly onwards. You can see that again. The ground here it's covered in snow, and as the night draws on, you can see there are clouds starting to fill the sky, blotting out the moon, and the winds are starting to pick up. And as you sort of reach the western edge of this lake, it starts to snow quite heavily, and your visibility is vastly reduced. It already wasn't great because it was dark, but now outside of this bubble, you can watch the snowflakes falling down and kind of disappearing on the outside of this protective bubble around your ship. But beyond that, swirling white snowflakes.
Well, is everyone awake, by the way, except for Aldous, or are we sleeping or resting?
To you, you can have taken a short, apart from Adair who's flying the boats, so far you could have taken a short rest. If you wish to try and sleep through the night, you can do.
Gotcha.
I would have taken a short rest.
Same.
Once we appear to be a short rest away and somewhat out of danger, I'm going to say, can someone take over? Pretty badly wounded myself.
Yep.
How?
Can
I
someone
think it's best for you
competent
not to do
please
it.
take over?
How long has it been since we took off?
Depends. Are you saying this early on into this day, or as you are at the point we got to in the?
After people have gotten a good rest and I feel that we've traveled a good enough distance to feel somewhat safe.
Probably
Why?
this is probably when you're out over the lake. You've been flying for a couple of hours.
Okay.
All right. I can take over for you. Give you a chance to rest.
As that happens, Lucian's going to go to the opposite end of the ship and just kind of stand and look out. Most in some contemplation, but also just kind of in wonder, being in the air.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, this is not like anything you've experienced before. It's a very strange experience being on a flying magic boat. You sadly can't see much because it's snowing, so you don't feel like you're getting the full benefit of the experience. Yeah. So is it Torvald now flying the boat so Adair can get a short rest? Yeah. Okay.
And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds, 3rd level.
Okay.
You're taking a rest. Why don't you just roll your hit dice?
Because I don't want to.
Oh, okay.
You can't make him.
What's that?
You can't make him.
Just a suggestion.
I didn't say anything.
Do what
like
you
that.
want.
I'm making my choice my way, and I'm doing this.
Okay.
Lucian would then eventually start maybe playing a little tune, just kind of lullaby-ish, as they're going, just to kind of keep occupied.
Okay. Is this a helpful healing lullaby?
Oh, I forgot I had that. Yeah, sure. Whoops.
It's the bard feature you always forget.
Yeah, short rest.
As any bard
short
player
rest.
knows, it's like, oh yeah. Also, I play a tune.
You can roll a d6.
It's counter charm is the one that you forget the most.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I forgot that song of rest.
Everybody rolls a d6.
Whoever's taking a short rest, who has taken a short rest,
For healing?
a rest of some sort.
Yeah,
1d6 healing, is that what it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's an additional in addition to your hit dice.
Gotcha.
Basically.
Well, I rolled high on them, so I rolled too many hit dice.
Okay.
Forget what-
As you're flying along, I need Lucian to make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Is this any sort of charm?
It's not charm, no, it's just a wisdom saving throw.
17.
Okay. I also need Ira to make me one.
What am I making? Sorry.
A wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy. Oh, good. Okay. I got a 24.
Okay. Noted. Both of you feel for a brief moment a strange prickling on the back of your neck. but it passed very briefly.
Looking around, do I see anyone else looking like they're reacting?
Do you see it? Oh, depends if Ira reacts.
I'd probably just scratch. Just like,
Okay. So, flying on through this falling snow. It's hard to, depending on how low you're keeping to the ground, Torvald. If you fly too high, it's hard. Basically, it's hard to clearly make out the ground. So it's up to you if you want to keep down to see landmarks or kind of just trust a good bearing.
If we can if I go high enough, can I see over the clouds? So it's not snowing?
If you go high enough, yeah, you can see you're over the clouds. Unfortunately, at that point, you can't see any of the landmarks underneath.
Right, but no one else could potentially see us, and we wouldn't get, I don't know. Just trying to be safer, I guess.
You can go up above the clouds. Actually, as you rise up above the clouds, that's when you see it much more clearly now. Lights. Probably still many miles to the south, and slightly more now to the southeast. So you seem to be overtaking it, but you can definitely see the... If you hadn't just emerged from above the clouds, you'd almost say it was the lights of a small town flickering out in the night.
And it's in the sky, you said?
Yeah, it's also above the clouds.
I'll try to say to anyone that's near, well, I think we found the fortress.
You do seem to be going faster than it, so you seem to be heading west faster than it is.
Can this thing go any faster?
I could try to go faster, but might get a little chilly up here.
Fine. Don't want to break your boat.
Well, it's not about the boat. It's about you.
You're in charge. So.
One's
All
got
right.
attitude. We're just trying to help you.
I'm trying to warn my people that this thing is coming.
What thing is coming?
The giant sky fortress.
Oh. Barbarians aren't known for their intelligence, okay? Shut up.
How long has it been now since we started resting?
At this point, it's probably since you took off, you've probably been flying for a good 5 hours.
Okay.
6 hours. Let's say 6 hours.
Okay, I'm just trying to see if Aldous has taken a long rest yet.
Yeah, so she's taking the sleep points. So she can spend the next 2 hours in light activity if she wants, but flying the boat is not light activity.
Gotcha. All right. All right. Torvald will, if I know I can go faster without endangering us at all, I'll try to go faster.
So you can really put the speed on, and that will, reduce the bubble, and there'll be Constitution saving throws involved.
Gotcha. So we're basically going as fast as we can without endangering
Yeah,
us.
you're going fast as you can without...
But we are still outspeeding it. So,
Yes.
all
Yeah,
right.
so it's up to you whether you want to put your foot down or not.
I'll just continue on, just to be more safe about it.
Okay.
Because getting exhausted is probably not a great idea.
Probably not. It's a risk of exhaustion.
Mm.
Depends how constitution-y you're feeling.
Lucian would go up to Chrysara and say, so your dwarf friend said you were trying to save the world.
We are.
From what?
Well, there's apparently some sort of war coming, and we're having to collect all of these pieces of a glass wand that supposedly does something.
And I'd pull the staff out like this thing?
It's more like it's got shattered into pieces. We're having to collect all the pieces.
Well, I mean, this one isn't shattered, clearly.
No. sort of like that.
Ira will like kind of like wake up drearily and be like, "Are we talking about the wand?"
Yeah, can you Ira, come here. Help us out.
Yes. Hello, Bag, Mr. Bag. We have a new friend in our presence, and I'd like to show him the wand. 14.
The bag opens.
Great. And then I'll shove my hand. Sorry, I took everything out and then I put everything back in, and now it's no idea where anything is.
I mean, you don't actually have to know where it is.
Yeah, Ira doesn't do that. Ira believes that she should know where it's supposed to be in the hidden compartments. And then she'll pull it out. And it's just very clearly kind of like can you tell where the two parts have fused, or does it look like one solid?
It looks like one piece.
Okay. So, here it is. It's broken, but it used to be even more broken, and now it's slightly more together.
So what she's showing you, Lucian, is a piece of glass about this long, which is one end is sort of goes to a point, and the other end is just shattered off. It's just glowing faintly.
Any resemblance?
No, this looks more crystalline than yours and less finished.
Okay.
It's just a shiver sort of looking at it. There's a kind of faint buzz in the air. You know when you walk under really powerful power lines?
Yeah.
That sort of feel.
And this one's supposed to do what?
Well, it shows me where the other pieces of the wand are for now. And it can also do some other cool things, but I've forgotten them. But I think once we get all of the pieces together, it's supposed to save the world. Then Ira will like strike a pose, like confidently, like
it glows brightly.
This is why she's the keeper of the wand.
My cloak billows behind me.
Interesting.
So we are trying to save the world.
We're on a scavenger hunt. We just keep getting sidetracked by many things.
You say war is coming. War is already here.
Do tell about everything, because like I said, what happened down there didn't process. Not very familiar with war.
I mean,
so yeah, what exactly happened? What did we just save you from? Why did we fight a random war out of nowhere?
They called you a spy. That sounds very fun.
He is a spy.
I am a spy. Probably was a spy. I don't know if I'm going to be too effective anymore now that I had been captured, but...
well, you're spying on us.
Might be effective elsewhere. I think everyone who caught you was dead.
Fair.
What was that voice from?
About two weeks ago, I mean, there's for many years, there's been tension between Eldenra and Tilafen. And 2 weeks ago is when the invading started. And yeah, I was sent in because I can pass pretty well for an elf, and been trying to share what information I could learn about their forces, their plans, anything. Well, I'll admit, our queen has not been the most level-headed, and that stays between us. Eldenra has certainly been the aggressors in this conflict. So my goal is just save my people.
Your people are...
The Tilafen. Oh, and also murder the captain, which I did.
You murdered him pretty good.
I did, thank you.
You did have help.
Oh yes, thank you. And I just kind of scratch under Adair's chin. Thank you, sir.
His foot patters on the ground.
So that's how. Well, there is another way that you can, if you really want to win him over. He absolutely loves badgers. Does anything fall out of my hat?
Yes. There's a little squeak as a rat drops out of your hat.
Oh, hold on, I have a present. Ugh. Do you want a rat?
I'm sure Sindri would enjoy it.
Sindri, you want a rat?
Meow.
There you go. And I hold it. So if I put it down, it's gonna run away.
Just a
Sindri.
mouth comes out from inside of Sindri's mouth.
Sindri grabs the mouse, then just lets it go for a bit, grabs
The
it
mouse
again,
is sitting there going,
It doesn't surprise me.
chases it around the deck.
If you were all from Isfjell, it doesn't surprise me that you're not aware of this conflict. I don't think Eldenra really wants to mess with. I think, as they put it, the people who live under and talk to rocks.
Excuse me?
That's not my words. That's their words.
Well, I know whose side we're on in this conflict. It's not theirs.
Yeah, I think they're afraid of you. Certainly.
They should be.
I'm a little afraid of you, but like in a good way.
You should be, but in a good way.
Yeah, so those of you in Isfjell, I mean, you'd know the Empire allied sort of lands, the Empire territories are the territories where Isfjell tends to go and raid. And Isfjell is one of the few areas of the East not controlled by the Empire because it was too much effort.
Wait, is that Fiven from the Empire? He has a lot of explaining to do. I think I'm just gonna have to go and kidnap him and bring him back.
I'm usually not the jealous type, but you keep talking about this other man.
Oh,
Well-
more like it.
He's an elf. Looks great in green. Pretty sure he's from the Empire, though. And he's stationed out in Bonebrook he's an accountant?
Well, I mean, if he's, like I said, not the citizens of the Empire aren't bad. It's those in power in the military that are just trying to expand more and gain more power. I'm not going to blame the people who are under their rule for their power, their thirst for power. Just as I aim to protect the people of Telefin, despite my sometimes disagreements with the Queen.
So what exactly is your queen like?
Good question.
You've probably, I don't know how much time you have spent in the capital. Is that sort of your main?
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, certainly a lot of this is secondhand, but
Yeah, I mean, she has been effectively ruling the country for the last 20 years because her father, who was the king, was fairly old and infirm. She's been considered a fairly decent ruler, but recently she's taken a much more strict stance on the cults, and a much more aggressive and warlike stance against any aggressor.
And is that what alienated the
Radiant Blade? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was a disagreement about burning of witches.
So yeah,
was
For
she
the longest
pro
time-
or against?
she's not very fond of witches. Granted, she has good reason. I mean, they did murder her family, right?
They tried to, yeah.
Tried
They,
to. So I don't blame the feeling, and I can certainly speak from experience. I got caught because I got reckless as I got closer to the captain. So I guess I speak from experience that the more that her anger controls her behavior with these so-called cultists and witches, the more she might be alienating and being reckless to the people she's supposed to be protecting.
Okay. So, how are you keeping track of where you are, Torvald?
we knew the bearing and about how far we had to go, right?
Yeah, make me a survival check then.
Okay. I can do that. Survival is... It's going to be a 19.
Okay, so wait, you reckon by now that you reckon you're at Yasavin. Going by the map, going by your bearing, you reckon that if under the clouds should be Yasavin.
All right, and that's the capital, right?
That is the
Yerevan's
capital.
capital.
Yasavin, yeah.
Well, I think we're here. I'm going to set us down now.
Can I gauge how far away the fortresses or the floating?
The fortress has passed out of sight now. It's over the horizon, so it's a good distance away now.
I will take the boat right down into below the clouds.
Lucian,
Okay.
where exactly should we sit down?
Is there a dock or anywhere that?
So it's a bit out of focus because I had to screenshot this map from somewhere else. But as you descend from the clouds, you can see lights laid out as this sprawl of a city. And depending on how well Ira remembers Chorus, this may be the biggest city you've ever seen. It's definitely bigger than the capital of the whole of Isfjell, and it's sprawled out beneath you along this river. You can see there's walls around you. You can see there's a castle stood up towards one end on a hill, and this river winding through the center. And you have emerged from the clouds, sort of smack bang over this city.
We might want to go.
And a bolt of fire comes flying through the air.
How high in the air are we?
High enough that the bolt of fire doesn't quite reach you. It fizzles out before it gets to your boat. But you hear bells ringing down below in the city.
Would you like to tell them we're coming in a flying boat?
I'll sending to any contact I have, any military contact I have down there. Stop. This is Lucian. These people saved me. Sorry. Stop.
You hear some warning next time.
I can't
You
respond.
blithering idiots. Land on meadow.
There.
And a few more fire bolts come streaming up through the air. There's a flurry of arrows, and then
I
pause and they stop.
Stop it!
There's some delay before the orders can spread round to tell everyone not to attack.
Thorvald
the
would have
flying.
stopped descending if he knew we were
Yeah.
out of range.
Yeah,
and
you're
just
out of
kinda like-
range. But
Yeah.
you hear the creak of a catapult being kind of wheeled round to point a different direction. Ballistas on the walls.
Do they not like you?
They're not used to seeing a flying boat descend right over the top of the city.
Torvald will navigate towards the meadow once the firing stops.
Yeah.
So you need an escort into the city?
What do you have in mind?
We'll escort you into the city. What did you think I had in mind?
And
I thought
yes,
we- I
do I
thought
wake
I
up
thought
at
we
this
were doing
point?
Yeah, you were definitely awake at this point.
Is that a full rest?
Yeah, you've had a long rest. The sun, I'd say, is pretty started. No, it's winter. It's not. The sun's not come up yet. As you set down on the meadow, you pass by on the walls. You can see a couple of flags rippling in the wind amidst all the snow around, and you see they're marked, these green flags, and embroidered onto them is the symbol of a squirrel.
Oh my god. you're a squirrel.
Rearing up on its hind legs.
Nice.
So you're the squirrels that we were concerned about taking our ship. So it's not an actual squirrel, it's you. Okay. Why is your mascot a squirrel?
I'm going to be upfront because we're friends now. I had the tiniest thought in my head about taking your ship, but you saved me, so I thought better of it. And I promise nothing will we will not commandeer your ship. I've also seen what my friend here, and I pat Torvald on the top of the head, can do with some lightning. So really don't want to be on the other end of that.
Well, I mean,
I'd be careful hitting me too hard, too.
It's a little shocking.
Are you more sensitive up here? Is that why you wear a helmet?
Aye, the helmet part's a little more sensitive than the rest of it.
I'll be more careful next time. I'm sorry.
I appreciate it.
Okay, so as you set your boat down amidst this flurries of snow, you see a group of what Lucian you'd recognize as the Royal Guard come hurrying out to meet you, mixed in with some of the city guard in the background, but mostly Royal Guard.
That's sure a way to greet someone.
You came out of the sky in a flying boat after sending us a warning.
A flying fortress, not a flying boat. There's very, very big difference. It's fine. All's forgiven. It's fine. I need to see the queen and her generals, though.
Yes, and he looks around and he takes a shuffling step closer and leans up. What do we do with these people? Do you want to take them to the palace, or should we arrest them? Should we leave them here?
Oh no, they can come with.
Are you sure?
We want them on our side.
Okay.
You can talk out loud. It's fine. I'm talking at this volume.
Oh, okay. just.
Plus, I'm pretty sure Adair can tell when anyone's whispering.
I think it's Adair and what's it?
We are all Lucian's escorts. All of us.
Just.
Her especially.
They're mercenaries,
I'm
right?
not dressed for it.
What do you call yourselves? Do you have a name? Mercenaries? What do you prefer to be called?
Well,
besides handsome, and I look at Adair.
Suck up.
That'll do.
We're high-priced escorts. We want paid.
we're adventurers.
Or that.
Excited to be in a palace.
They're from Isfjell.
Barbarians.
Hey,
Only one
I
of us.
resemble that remark.
Excuse me?
They're people that
Sorry.
scare the Empire.
Yes. I've heard of. Like, isn't
Okay,
that, the land where they wrestle wolves and like.
Enough hearing and more taking.
Okay. Yeah. This way. Follow me. Follow me. Right away.
Sindri,
Just
do you want?
I'm
Sindri,
just
do you
gonna-
want to come with?
just as long as you're not heroes, right? The Queen is not too fond of,
they're the
of
worst
bands
kind.
of traveling heroes.
They're the scum and villainy of the continent.
Oh, good.
We're what?
Just go with it.
Okay.
And
Sindri,
don't-
do you want to go with?
And don't touch their boat. I made a promise.
Don't touch the boat.
Literally no fingerprints.
She can tell.
I can definitely tell.
Yes. And he leads you out of this meadow where there's some tents, there's some horses sort of, what's the word for picketed, like when you've kind of got horses on this meadow. It looks like there's a bit of sort of an army camp inside the walls, perhaps not permanent. And you led across this large square, past a temple that looks like someone's attempted to blow it up recently. The front of it is crumbling down. Large sections of the pavement outside are damaged in a way that you would probably recognize as what happens when people shatter paving. And over the bridge and winding up towards the castle itself. There's not many people on the streets. Most of the windows are shuttered. There's not many lights. It's the early hours of the morning. And you're led up through the gates into this courtyard of the castle. You can see more banners, more squirrel banners hanging down from the walls. As you're led up the steps and into the halls. And this is very much a fortress. This is a solid stone keep. It's not a decorative palace particularly. Like, there's tapestries on the walls and it's decorated, but this is primarily a defensive feature. And you're
Does it
led.
appear that they're outnumbered based on what we saw of the flying fortress, like size-wise?
The flying fortress, you'd say, is at least it's probably bigger than this entire castle. You don't know how many who it's got in it, but you also know that raw numbers are probably not what it matters when it comes to a fight. Seeing as you, there's people out there who can take out whole swathes of them, and depending on how many mages someone's got as well. But you're led through into quite a small and sort of comfortably decorated looking room. There's a few sort of chairs and tables scattered around, tapestries on the walls, there's some candles lit. Do you need food? I can get you some food.
No, just go away and we can take care of this.
That's all right.
Actually, food sounds good.
Oh, food, and then go away.
Right.
You're such a charmer.
These people I like.
The head of the gods scurries off and returns a moment later with sort of some bread and cheeses and sort of apples and things like that. So sets them down on the table. And then...
Okay, you delivered your food.
I'm going...
Thank you. It's really appreciated.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. One thing I forgot to mention. Do not use, imply, say, or make reference to heroes.
No talk of us trying to save the world. We're mercenaries.
I mean, you can say that just as long as you do it kind of like, oh yeah, we do it for money, not for altruistic reasons.
Aye, gotcha.
Like,
Or-
not
I mean,
for
that's
moral
kind of
reasons.
what we're
But we
doing.
do it for money and not for altruistic.
Then perfect. Then you're not lying.
Yeah.
No, we want
Exactly.
paid.
I like to
We
think
want
we can
gold.
do both.
Yeah.
The door to the room swings open as you're having this conversation.
And I look at Ira. You've been so informative so far. Let me do the talking.
And a woman enters. She looks to be probably in her perhaps early 40s, but rather not beautiful, but rather handsome looking woman, quite tall, with blonde hair, like gold blonde hair, like pulled back in a rather tight braid. She's wearing sort of what look to be sort of riding clothes, and she's still sort of fiddling with the cuffs of one of them as she comes in. It's still being really early in the morning, and she doesn't look best pleased. And as she enters the room, the two guards by the door, you see them stand up, stand to attention.
And
Gets on the ground.
I would give a deep. I'm assuming it's the queen.
It is the queen.
I would give a deep.
You've probably not been this close to her before.
Right, but I imagine I'm smart enough to kind of.
Yeah, she's on the coins.
I'm
Well,
like
some of
behind
them.
my back, I'm like waving everyone to like bow as well.
Torvald
So
will
I'm
as
just
well.
standing there eating cheese.
Adair waves.
And I'll go.
So,
Your Majesty.
you are the spy that the Verns mentioned, the one who very helpfully sent information. They managed to send to me.
Spy is such a crass word, but yes, yeah.
Oh,
That's me. That's me.
no, a spy on the side of Tielefen, a spy for good, a hero, one could say.
Oh, I wouldn't use that word.
A good sort of hero, though, not an interfering one.
Whatever your Majesty desires.
Oh, so you'll be whatever she wants you to be.
Tielefen thanks you for your service. We are happy to reward you with whatever you would see fit.
Lots of gold for them. They're mercenaries.
Oh, I was
Stingy,
talking about
greedy,
you.
Greedy mercenaries.
I was talking about you. We can offer.
Oh, me. Oh,
There are lands, if you wish them.
There's still fighting left, Majesty. Your Majesty.
Well,
I would like to. I don't know if I'm so effective spying anymore, but I still think I could be an effective strategist, maybe.
well, I'm very glad to hear that you wish to continue aiding our war effort. We can talk later about what would be a suitable reward, but don't think your service will not go unrecognized.
Of course, but time is of the essence.
Yes.
A fortress, we've seen it. We were able to outpace it, but the fortress is on its way here.
Yes. That is a matter of deep concern. We have some armaments we can turn to the skies, but sadly, most of our army is rather lands-based. I really should have looked into that flying horse offer when we still had mages.
If only we could be in the air.
If only.
Look.
It would give us an advantage, yes.
Such an
really,
advantage.
really nice. And I'm sure those who would help would get rewarded with gold and maybe a favor, maybe a royal favor.
Maybe 7,000 gold?
7,000 gold?
More than that.
What's with the 7,000? Like, it's very specific.
What are you offering for 7,000 gold?
I can levitate.
We can.
She goes, much as I, and then you see her eyes flick over to Torvald, and she's looking at Torvald's cloak.
Oh, he found that. He is not one of them.
There's some cultists that were trying to kill people, and we were able to defeat them.
Being
They
dealt
tried-
with.
They tried to get us, but we killed at least one of them and,
good.
raided the rest of their house.
Yes.
Iris.
They are a scourge on our country.
Of course.
Well, we're happy to help you for a reward, as we are mercenaries.
As I said, although much as I think one levitating knight would be of great help, I'm not sure it's quite worth 7,000.
Well, we have a
I
flying
can
boat,
cast
and we've already
fly.
taken out a good chunk of their army, so...
There's also that.
Yeah, he does this lightning thing, where, like, lightning goes in the sky from his hand, and then different lightning, well, I'm assuming it's different lightning, comes down and, fries people.
But maybe it's the same lightning bouncing back again.
And Adair can do it too, so...
Well...
Kenny now. You're
have
full
them
of
all.
surprises.
I've got other magic.
You are mages and warriors, then?
I can make people fall in love with me for 8 hours, specifically.
Wait.
She can also produce rats.
I can also. Oh, I can do. Wait.
we're like, I can call thunder down from the sky. I can shoot bolts of force.
Rats!
And she's like, I can pull a rat out of a hat. Magic.
Love Badger.
You should just make a circus.
What falls out? I hope
think
it's a
we
squirrel.
are.
Well, she's also good with a hammer, so...
I would hope so. Look, I lay this offer on the table. If you and your flying ship fight with us and help defend Yezavin, should I still be queen this time tomorrow, you may have 7,000 gold pieces.
Minimum.
Yeah. We might.
I
show
will
a
have to
typical-
talk. I may have to confer with my treasurer.
We also take magical items and such as payment as well. Doesn't have to be all gold.
Oh, well, in which case, we still have some artifacts remaining from the Cold Water laboratories that I'm sure could be offered to you. Although most of the ones that are of proven usefulness have been already taken for the war effort. And I would warn you that the ones that remain have, how can one say, temperamental abilities at times.
Well, we know all about that, don't we, Ira?
Your Majesty, I think maybe a royal favor, depending on their effectiveness, may also be in order, if I'm not speaking out of turn.
Pardon?
A royal favor, maybe, depending on their effectiveness.
Yes, depending on what is in my power to grant. We are, as you have surely seen, a nation at war. While I have gold in the treasury, there is only so much I can offer, depending on what you're seeking assistance with. There is land, there is some gold, but it would be remiss of me to promise things that I cannot provide.
Of course. I just want to impose upon them the magnitude of their service.
Yes, if they're truly as powerful and as
greedy,
you don't need to keep that up. Like, as long as you have no designs on attempting to oust me from the throne or kidnap my children, we don't need to have anything to worry about here.
Why would we want that? I mean, we've got plenty of things at home.
We have a lot of problems at home, and I have my own daughter to rescue. I don't really need any more.
Oh, good, good.
Are the attractive children?
How old are they? How old are they?
They are 13, 16, and 19.
Not interested.
And they are adorable.
Oh, maybe the King of Isfjell.
Is there anything else you need of us, Your Majesty?
At this moment, based on your estimates, how long would you say we have before this war fortress arrives?
That's what I was just going to ask.
30 minutes?
You reckon you've probably got, I'm going to say, 3 or 4 hours.
3 or 4 hours, Your Majesty.
Yes.
Not 8?
Not 8. No.
Hours, Your Majesty.
Well, to the war room, then.
To the war room.
That sounds like a fun place.
Wake the generals. Find Vincent.
I need a couple goats.
Tell him how much gold I have in my treasury.
Get
that lady a goat. 2 goats.
Sir War Room or the Father War Room?
Pardon?
That was a stretch even for you.
At least
I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed.
So, your flying boat. I've never had to consider the application of how to deploy a flying boat in battle before. Does it have armaments?
Me.
Them.
Us.
It has been known to grow spikes and fight a dragon with them.
Well, excellent. I don't know if they have any dragons, but hopefully they do not. Now, follow me. Walk and talk. He sets off marching up a corridor.
Oh no!
Torvald's gonna try to.
Somebody muzzle Ira.
Yeah, Torvald's gonna try to like hang back and to like talk to Adair if he can.
And I'm gonna talk to Chrysara as we're walking.
I'll pair with Lucian.
And the Queen sort of people popping up. It's very much a sort of walking down corridors, ushering people in and out, shouting orders situation. As they head through the west wing of the palace and up towards the war room.
Are you doing all right, Adair? You seem a bit off.
Things have been a little stressful for me lately.
I understand.
Have I done something to bother you?
Well, no, just don't seem like yourself, and you referred to us as they instead of us, and just kind of concerned.
You're always my friend, Torvald. Apologize. Just feeling a little detached.
All right, well, you know I'm here to talk with you if you need me.
Dare will pat him on the back and then kind of muss his hair, his helmet hair a little bit, and walk along.
Sarah,
Yes.
as soon as we have a minute, we should really go and do some sacrifice.
I'm all for some sacrifice, absolutely. What are we sacrificing? Those goats?
Yeah, those goats. We're going to sacrifice the goats to the gods. And
Do I
hopefully
hear this?
They'll help us.
Part 2.
How far behind? How far
I
behind?
mean, this is all close in the corridor. If you're listening, you can probably hear the
Okay.
discussion of
I-
goat sacrifice.
I turn around and say, "Stop that."
Lady, your goats.
We'll take those.
Torvald's
take
gonna
one.
lean.
You're handed the lead of these two goats.
Torvald's gonna lean into Adair and say,
I'm starting to think that wasn't Thunderer that told us to fight. I think there's something wrong with all this.
I've had a conversation with Aldous, and she has told me she's fine, and I have faith in her. I'm sure that everything's okay.
Have
Although
you
I don't
known her
understand the
to
goat thing. But when
try
we
to
met her,
sacrifice?
Ira, why don't you go tell the queen about your interesting bag?
Yes. Hello, Queen.
Ixnay, sacrifice say.
Do you want to win the war?
I told you she doesn't like things that sound like witches, whether that's what you are or not. I don't want you getting burned at the stake.
Have you ever heard of a bag of withholding?
Is that a bag where you put something in it and you never get it back again?
Not quite. So,
Because
when
I
you
had
have
one
this
of those
bag-
once.
but
That's-
wait, there's more.
that's fascinating.
Wait.
Well, no, this bag is somewhere in between. You put stuff in, and maybe it comes out. You have to convince it. It's very fun. Sometimes. Most of the time, it's not fun, actually.
We just need a spare room for just a few minutes.
Isn't it
We'll
fascinating?
be back. Your Majesty, can we go into a room, just me and Aldous, for a few minutes? We needed to discuss some lady issues.
two
Lady
ladies and a goat,
issues.
two ladies
Without
and a
Ira.
goat go into a spare room.
Eric,
goats.
find them a room.
Two minutes, 5 tops.
Yep. This way, ladies.
Torvald's gonna lean into Adair again and say,
I really don't think this is a good idea. They seem very off, and you're seeming more normal.
I'm not the only one who heard that. I know that because everybody else left.
what did I miss? I missed something.
I'm broken for the moment. Sorry.
I missed something.
I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard.
While they're distracted by his
Not
full
everything
choice of
does it seem.
words. Let's go.
Okay, so
You got
Sarah
that
and Aldous are absconding with the two goats, or leaving with the two goats down the
Me
corridor.
as well, please. I consider myself a lady.
It's very lady issues we have to discuss, so come on.
Right.
Will you be wanting a
think-
room with beds, or just a room with room?
Just a room with room.
All right. You see him open the door. No. That one. And points you into what appears to be a sort of small sitting room.
All right. Are there candles?
Yes.
Perfect.
Can we lock the door or barricade it?
Hold on. I go and say, be careful, and I cast silence.
We're just going to discuss lady
You
issues.
can't
If
hear
there's-
what they're saying. Silence falls on the whole area if you're not careful.
Yeah, it would
The
be.
queen is
I just want
far-
like far enough where it's just in the room, proper.
Oh, good. So they won't be able to hear us.
Do you think we should keep an eye on them, Torvald? What are you suggesting?
I think we should keep an eye on them. It seems they're up to no good.
I will go with the queen, get the relevant information, and I will come find you.
Agreed.
All right.
And
I look to the guard. Fuck off. Give him some privacy.
Fucking off, sir.
It sounds like we got a couple dogs in as well.
The guard runs away
those are
with
the
his tail
goats.
between his legs.
That's the goats. Yeah, so the guards step away from the door, and you are left in this rather nice sitting room. There's some comfy chairs, a rug on the floor, little hearth.
Oliver!
I am going to start. I'll roll up the rug. And are there any like vases or anything
Yes.
like that? Plates, bowls, something?
And there's an ornamental dish of some sort that seems to have lemons in it.
I'll toss the lemons off to the side and put the bowl in the middle of the room.
The wasted good
Aldous?
lemons.
Aldous,
What?
Are you in the room?
what are you doing, Aldous?
We are going to sacrifice these.
Are you in the
gifts to
room?
gods.
Yeah. Who's
Yes,
in the
we're in the room.
Who else
Yes,
in the
I
room
am.
with us? It's me.
And you can't hear-
Only
and
ladies.
Aldous. Only ladies.
You can't hear them. They can hear you if you're out of the room, Adair.
No,
They can-
we all
also,
are
if-
in the
if-
room.
If you cast silence, none of you can hear each other right. You're having to bite all this.
Well, Adair can understand everyone then.
Oh, yeah.
So sorry about this, Adair. We just need to discuss lady problems. So considering that it's almost a full moon, it's about to be, a specific time for women that don't happen with men.
You can't hear what she's saying. She's been silenced.
Did you want to discuss that with us?
I'm going to walk over and sit down between the two goats and start petting them, and I'm going to look at Aldous and go,
What?
And I am going to say, as loud as I can, we need to reach the gods.
and Adair is going to.
Oh, sorry.
Go
Ira
ahead,
has
Ira.
written on a piece of paper and is holding it up, and it just says, "How do you deal with armor boob sweat?" And that's all.
And
Torvald put vents in there for you.
Adair's going to go, and then he's going to look back at Aldous and say,
There are gods because look at what happened the first time we met. There are gods.
"Why did I press unmute to do that? That's what I don't get."
I don't know. Why don't you just mute them all?
Just mute and then say it.
Yeah.
As soon as I'm 120 feet away, the spell drops.
Perfect.
I
Awesome.
just imagine one of them's in the middle and they're
Yeah.
ah!
No,
You
God.
bitch.
All right.
So,
Why do you think you have to do some sacrificing?
because we're fixing to go into a big war.
We need to make a sacrifice to Lord Grimm. We need to make a sacrifice to the Thunderer. And we need to make a sacrifice to Lady Luck
And the Storm Maiden.
and the Storm Maiden.
How many goats
And-
do they have?
Two. Then we have to share. I mean, it's standard practice before you go into a major battle.
Mm-hmm.
So why were they trying to get in there alone?
Because he told us that the Queen would freak out if we... And we didn't trust that you guys would stop us, so...
And I start making the room suitable for sacrifice.
I take out my hand axe and start sharpening it.
Would Torvald know this as like a normal practice for Isfjellians?
I mean, you are Isfjellian and you are also a cleric, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, if you remember the first session we played, you were trying to sacrifice the poor goat that had run away.
And, the subsequent animals.
Aldous, I said before that whatever action you take, just make sure there's a good reason.
And this reason is to request from the gods some assistance to ensure that we survive this fight.
I can always ask my friend. I have a hair.
Save that for something else.
Okay, so you've made preparation. You have your two goats who are looking sort of around in slight confusion. It's not their normal room.
All right, say the word, Aldous, and I'll get started.
Torvald, you're the cleric. Are you ready to help with this?
I'll let you do it.
Okay.
Adair's going to take the first goat, look him in the eye, and say, "Go to meet Fireheart, lost one." And then he's going to walk over and repeat that.
Right. So I'm going to light the candles and I draw the curtains if there's curtains, windows, and all that.
There's some shutters on the window, but they're already shut because it's snowing heavily outside and it's nighttime.
All right. All right. Shoot, I'm not prepared for this. Out of character.
We can come back in a moment. We can first go over to what Lucian's up to.
Yeah, go
Right.
ahead. I'll write this
All right.
out.
I'll give you a moment to. So, Lucian, as you'd gone to talk to the Queen, yes? Well,
I'm pretty much just trying to keep her focus not on what the hell they're doing.
as you sort of round the corner, she looks like this. Where did you say they were from again?
Isfjell.
Ah, that explains quite a lot. Well, do hope they don't ruin the rugs.
You can afford new rugs.
Well, I may not have a castle when tomorrow's done anyway, so I probably shouldn't be worrying too much about the rugs. Look, if you're going to be on my war committee, if you're going to be a tactician, you need to know now. This is going to be a hard fight. They have better magics than us. They have more men than us.
Your Majesty, with all due respect, I've lived among them. I was there. I was with them. I probably know more about them than most of the people on in your war cabinet.
You think we have a chance?
We have a better chance now.
Good.
They're pretty impressive.
Good.
Don't tell them I said that.
Because look, we don't have much in the way of magic. We don't have many wizards at all left. Our priests and our knights, their magics are failing. The gods have abandoned Tilafen. Our gods have left us.
Well, they seem to be with this group here.
One can only hope so.
And I know you've maybe only heard of me, if that. I know I'm not that important.
Rosalind has put in a good word for you, and she was always one of the most loyal and kindest of my ladies. She was a good friend, and I hope that she is able to hold Rivermore.
If we're going to have any chance, we'll have to rely on them and their not able to try it, and their unique features.
Yes. Well, we must stand strong. We must hope. Because I fear these are the only allies that Tilafen has left. Right.
Maybe if we can show the Empire that the Empire can bleed, those allies might start coming back.
Perhaps. Now, and she ushers you through into a room where you can see there's a gathering of people sort of rubbing sleep from their eyes, standing around, yawning, just being woken up, and laid out in the center you can see maps. You can see detailed maps of the city and of Tilafen laid out. You can see the little pins and markers for troops, sketches of the war fortress, very hazy ones from the distance.
I take like maybe 2 tankers and start banging them together. Time to wake up! There's a battle to fight!
And you hear a couple of words like, "Who the fuck's that?" And so you hear a "Here" from the other end of the room. You see the stately and well-recognized form of the old General Adolphus, who is sort of the leader of the armies of Tilafen. Yes. Yeah. He always says, "We knew this day was coming. As ready as we're gonna be."
There's a
Listen to the elf.
half elf. I just kind of shrug it. There's a group of mercenaries with a flying ship that have agreed to help us. Don't get in their way. If they're doing something that looks strange, just go with it. And provide whatever cover you can. And with their help, we might be able to take the fortress down.
All right. And he ushers you over and starts poring over the maps. Meanwhile, back in the other room, the candles are lit. The goats are looking nervous.
Okay.
Take it away.
All right. Aldous is going to take one of the goats and take one of the daggers off her belt. She's going to go into the center of the room, and then she's going to have Chrisara come into the center of the room with her and to do the same.
Everyone looks very confused.
Torvald's going to look to Adair, and he's going to mouth. He's not going to say, if anything seems off, we stop them.
And Adair's going to look at me like, this whole thing seems off.
And then
Okay.
Torvald will, like, as he just like goes like this, Torvald will be like, sacrificing is normal, but they seem very eager to do it. It might just be coincidence.
Okay, so
I'm
Aldous.
looking at you. Like, are you done?
You couldn't hear. No one was saying anything. We were just behind your back.
yeah. This is well.
Oh, you're behind my
yeah.
back. Okay,
Yeah.
then never mind. All right, so I'm gonna clear my throat. So I am not a priestess, and I hope that this goes well. Lady Luck and Lord Grim, Thunderer and Stormbringer, All-Mother and Wild King, we ask that you aid us this day before this battle. Guide us to strike true and...
Do we recognize all of those names? Okay. All right. Just checking.
They're your gods.
Yeah, okay. I just, I as a player
Not
don't
mine.
recognize them all.
Yeah, not yours, but yeah,
I'm
Torvald.
just
Their
making
gods.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so rewind just a little bit. Okay. We ask that you aid us this day before this battle. Guide us to strike true and hold us in your arms of protection. We sacrifice these 2 goats, and at this point, she's going to slit the throat of the goat she's holding. We sacrifice these 2 goats in your name to show appreciation. Please help us.
I'd like you to, Alice, make me either performance or persuasion check here.
All right. It'll be a performance.
Actually, do you have proficiency in religion?
No,
Okay.
I don't.
Fine. Yeah.
But I do have a +4 in performance. So
Okay,
that's a total of 14.
Okay.
And she's gonna gesture to Chrysara to sacrifice the goat.
The other goat stops struggling and panicking, and
She would have when you were done speaking.
blood sort of splatters onto the rugs and the ground, and there's no response, or not at least one that you notice. Whether your prayers were heard, you don't know.
Do we need more goats?
But
No, at this point, I'm gonna take I'm gonna dip my hand in the blood that was spilled, and I'm gonna turn to Chrysara, and I'm gonna put 2 stripes down each cheek.
Before she does this, like, if there's anything, like, Torvald being a cleric, if there's
this is a perfectly legitimate
ritual.
Okay.
ritual.
Just if there's anything that's not our customs at all.
This is totally normal.
Okay. If there is, just stop, like, so I don't have to.
They're not
interrupt,
doing
just-
anything weird here. I mean,
Okay.
not by your reckoning, by the reckoning of whoever's about to open this door, probably.
After I've done the blood on Chrysara's face, I'm gonna gesture to Torvald if he wants it.
Just
And
gonna
then-
shake his head.
And then I'm gonna take 2 fingers and do 2 on one cheek and 1 on the other for me.
Warband. Alright. So,
And I'm gonna offer it to everybody else in the room, but I doubt they'll take it.
Actually, Adair will come forward and let you do it. But as you do,
Okay.
he's going to say, "This better be worth it.
I will as well.
Don't waste it."
But she kind of specifically motions to like Lady Luck's symbol.
Mm-hmm. And so Adair comes up. She's gonna dip her hand back in the blood to put more blood on her hand, and then she's going to put the Wild King's symbol on Adair's forehead. And then she will make Lady Luck's symbol on Ira's left cheek.
okay. So, with prayers and offerings sent to the gods, you can hear as sort of bells are ringing, drums are beating out in the city as the army is called up, as Yezavin is called to arms. In the war room, Lucian, you and the generals and the people who are considered intelligent in military matters, looking over maps, moving troops, making plans. And we'll find out next session what happens as the crew of the Cloudmaiden go to war against the
Before-
forces of the Elven Empire.
Before we leave, if I may, Adair would walk over to Torvald and lean into him and go, "I don't feel evil yet, but I'll let you know if I do."
All right. I don't need to make sacrifices to Thunderer for him to know my devotion.
And you know it means absolutely nothing to me, but I had to find out if I could do anything.
But isn't that what you'd say if you did?
We always sacrifice goats before war. Why is everyone so confused by this?
Right?
I don't.
Because he just like seemed so adamant about it all of a sudden.
Because we're going to war. Like,
And we
we're in a
had this
war.
War and major
Disembodied
raids.
voice tell us to fight.
Good God.
Yeah, and then also like the random prickles across your neck, like it seems off.
That's out of character. That's just someone out there trying to watch you.
Oh, okay.
We've just been together so long, we realized not to trust even ourselves.
But yeah, so yeah, next session. Hope you guys are ready for some all-out battle. Alfia?
Only it'd be nice if I got to rest first, but I'm screwed.
Well, you still have all your wild shapes, so at least there's that.
Yeah,
You're
I
a
got
moon
that.
druid.
It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be
I
awesome.
think Grisara's got her rages left, so
All of them.
We'll be fine.
and there's going to be plenty of smiting and let's see how it
And we have a boat.
goes. You have
And
a flying boat.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are we gonna have a Lucian?
Yes.
Because we need Lucian, you know.
We have to have Lucian.
Oh,
You signed up.
I'm gonna say we'll work that out. We're not around next week. It'll be the week after next. So yeah, we'll discuss and work out whether Lucian is going to be on stage in the battle or behind the scenes pulling the strings of the Telepen forces. I'd say whether he's back in 2 weeks' time or not. Thank you very much to Dan, who is
It was
Thank you.
awesome
It was a lot
having
of
you
fun.
here, Father Lucy.
for putting up with my random string
Ugh.
of information I gave him and actually making it sound coherent, at least semi-coherent. And
Yeah, I tried my best.
yeah, I just ran a past. Oh, I just remembered another thing. And
It was great.
yeah, so welcome
Except
to.
I'm surprised there's not a bard in this group of people, so I felt it was needed.
Yeah, sadly
Yeah.
bardless.
Okay.
It's sad. Every.
Fine.
I'm
Chris
biased.
Hawkins
I
ain't got
like
singing.
bards.
Okay.
there was good. There was
If I
warlocks.
do come back, I just expect someone to say, "Lucy, I'm home." But that's
Do
Oh,
it.
we could do that.
I mean,
That's
I'm
only
thinking-
after the fight.
I was gonna say if you need to do
Lucian.
the sky with diamonds next week.
Ooh, there we go.
You're
I have
seeing
some
the sky
diamonds.
with.
And we have a flying boat. There we go. We've seen the sky with
it
diamonds.
works. It works.
You know, will gladly come back.
Lucian, the sky with diamonds. I like it.
Yeah.
Next episode.
Did you guys like my prayer?
Yes,
well
that was
done.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was very heartfelt and dramatic.
Mhm.
If it wasn't for the creepy out factor that Torvald had me so dadgum nervous about what was going on, you know.
I know.
Just seemed like something was really off.
No, but I feel like that Bova just
Wait a
doesn't
minute,
believe
maybe
me
there's
when I keep
something wrong
telling
with
him
Torvald.
that it's
I
just-
know.
Well,
What's
Nobody
Yeah.
trusts the
Torvald.
DM when the DM says no, everything's fine.
We've done Call of
nothing unusual
Cthulhu. You
about
don't
it.
think we're thinking about some mind messing thing that takes over your. The main enemies are mind flayers. Come on. I assume everything's
Horrible
trying to mess
war
with their minds all the
ritual.
time.
I mean, that is probably a decent assumption. But yeah. So we will see you in 2 weeks' time. And gonna have some big aerial battles and some fun and
Have a great weekend.
have a good
Thanks, everyone.
time.
Thank you, everybody. And by
see
the
ya.
way,
Thank you.
our 2 astronauts are in space. They lifted off
Yep, saw
successfully.
that.
So yay.
Woot.
Hey, so the competition's out the way.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Right.
Bye.